Testing 1, 2, 3. Are we going? There we are. Okay, finally. Hey, yo, skip forward a second when you first turn the stream on, I guess. But Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5 about to start. Part of me, of course, wants to, I guess not wants to get excited, but part of me feels like there is like a little, for some reason, there was like a little like Game 7-y vibes in there. Like, oh, wait a second, we're getting back into New York. You know, maybe not Game 5, maybe more to Game 6. Like, it didn't feel maybe to build up as well too, as desperate it was. And then you remember, oh no, it's 3-0, or not 3-1. Probably the way the Pacers have looked and the Knicks have looked over the course of the game, it's going to be really difficult for them to, of course, battle back and win this series. But still not impossible. I think comparing it, maybe it's the comparison to Minnesota, OKC as well too, where they in that game specifically, just any game versus OKC, Game 4, I guess, where I'm thinking of, where they lose that game close. Any game you lose specifically against OKC is going to be just tough on the resume. It's going to be tough to sort of like, oh man, we could have had one there. But then to, of course, have that game specifically and the difference of being 2-2 versus 3-1. Once it goes 3-1, it's like, yeah, OKC is probably going to win that series. I guess there is a little bit more of the percentage odds that, the Vegas odds maybe. I don't know if the line for a potential historic comeback would be a little bit shorter for the Knicks, I guess. And they were a decent favorite going into today's game as well, too. They're 4.5. So Brunson with the little floater right away. Means nothing, chat. Means nothing. But we'll see if Halliburton in the Garden, another historic game as well, too, chat. I guess, again, the competitiveness maybe of the two teams. We were hoping to see that stuff from, Turner. A little shacked in a full moment right out the gate. Loses the handle on the to go to pass, but I mean he just lost it as well too. So it's like, oh well, I guess I'm not gonna shoot this thing. I'm gonna pass it. Oh well, nope, I just going out of bounds. So, chat, 2-0. Neesmith just starting the game on Brunson, of course. We'll see the switches right away. They just go to Towns, chat, right away. So Towns and Siakam. Towns better make a move. He's just holding the ball out there, 30 feet from the basket. Okay, they're running the Brunson play, chat. Get Brunson moving off the ball first. I see. Easy little step back there. Neesmith in the mid-range. 4-0. So there we go. Towns, the patience. We got to give him credit, letting the play develop. Towns is actually, part of the Thibodeau master plan. Oh, chat, the turnover right away. Yo, maybe it's the basketball, chat. Towns for 3. It rims out. Okay, is that still the Knicks ball? Okay, chat. And both teams have now had a fumble. Nerves. Tom Thibodeau 3-9 in potential elimination games. I guess, I would say, Game 7s, because that's like the obvious last game of the series. This is an elimination game, not the obvious last game of the series. But 3-9 in elimination games. So he's been in 12 elimination games, chat. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not great. So what are his 3 elimination game wins? So that's just winning. Tom Thibodeau's won 3 playoff series in his career. Is that right, chat? Is that right? Maybe we need to figure out if that stat was a little more sophisticated than we're giving it credit for. Because again, elimination game is just the game that whoever has 3 wins, it's just the next game. So and they have 2. No, oh wait, okay. So they had 2 playoff wins this year, but 1 playoff win the year before that. Oh, I guess is the Knicks head coach? Maybe we didn't read fully into that, chat. Let's see, because I'm trying to go. Well, obviously the Bulls run, champ. What's Thibodeau's history? Let's go back. Tom Thibodeau. Is the Bulls right? He went to the Timberwolves. He was an assistant on the Celtics. Let me see here, chat. Where was Thibodeau originally shouting? Us. Assistant. San Antonio, of course. We take credit for everybody. Houston, New York, Boston. Yeah, Chicago. Okay, yeah, chat. Chicago. That feels like so long ago. Tibbs on Chicago. Derek, I guess it was 15 years ago at this point, but when he first started anyways. So Chicago, Minnesota, and New York is basically it, chat. For those, 3 teams. Hasn't bounced around too much. Like, he does year to year at least stick around a little bit. Minnesota, 3 seasons. I guess not crazy. But where's the playoffs in here, chat? Oh, here we go. Playoffs in the other column. So his career playoff record, 46%. 47-54 with Chicago. He was 23-28 with Minnesota 1-4. And with New York, he does have a winning record at this point in his career with New York. 23-22. So tonight could even that right at 500, I guess, if they lose. If they win, then 24-22. But then, I guess every game at this point is an elimination game going forward. Once the pace out of 3 wins going forward. So how many times have they been down 3-1 in the series, I guess, as well, too, under Tom Thibodeau, and fought back in a decent way? Because I guess it's not a ton of times as well, too, where the team gets it to 7 as well, which is the other part of the historic aspect of it. I think it's definitely more. It's not like every time, obviously, the team got it to 7, they did win. But it's not like 80% or, 50% of the teams that get down 3-1 make it to game 7. I don't think so anyways, Chad. Maybe, again, it's increased a little bit over the last couple of years. Because at least Miami got... The thing is, when Miami was making that run against Boston, they were showing all the stats. They were like, oh, is this going to happen? And was Boston up 3-0 in that series? Or were they up 3-1? I think they were just up 3-1. But they were going to make the historic comeback. And then it was like, how many times did the teams get to the game 7? And, of course, Miami did get to the game 7 there, Chad. But, yeah, Tibbs is looking interesting for the playoff career. So they don't have the playoff series listed out the same way they do for the head coaches, Chad. And obviously, he hasn't necessarily had the perfect roster either. I mean, he's had some pretty great, and this might honestly, of course, be his best run just in general to make a finals, even not necessarily just win it. Because, I mean, obviously, Derrick Rose, Chat, is peak Derrick Rose better than Jalen Brunson? It's tough. Obviously, there's a dynamic sort of athletic element that Derrick Rose brings to the game that maybe Brunson doesn't have, where the eye test, just the flashiness of Derrick Rose. Maybe you gravitate for that. But you look at the one MVP, I guess, the one really, healthy season at the peak of his run. So that is crazy, Chat, because, again, the third season into the league, 25 a game. He won the MVP the third season into the league? That is crazy. Because, I mean, where's Edwards at right now? This is basically where Edwards was at. We're not trying to put Edwards to unreasonable standards. I mean, he is, outside of this last playoffs, Chat, he's basically accomplished everything that we wanted him to in the young start of his career. And even with this last playoffs, still a great start to his career. It still seems like the sky's the limit for Anthony Edwards, of course. But you just think about the versions of Derrick Rose that we got to saw. We never even got to see that 28-year-old, 26 to 29, the early 30s sort of. Did the shifts in his career of, I guess the prime version of it as well, too. Because, you kind of think that he hits the peak of his powers because he wins that MVP, I guess is the point. And there's a conversation there where he's already in the mix for the best player in the league. But, again, his third season into the league, that's just not even close to the best version of Derrick Rose. In the next couple of seasons, he's going to continue to get better and stuff. And, obviously, the Derrick Rose-Tom Thibodeau combination, Chat, would that have been one to watch for 4 years to be there in Chicago? And, I mean, I think some of his schemes as well, I mean, he was definitely, obviously, the up-and-coming prospect at that point when he got hired as the head coach in Chicago. So at least his stuff was maybe a little bit newer, but even still, he's still impactful. Obviously, the Knicks are in the playoffs or in the conference finals. But yeah, R.I.P. Derrick Rose, and Brunson's just such a good playmaker, get everybody involved. But again, Derrick Rose is just such a dynamic scorer. Derrick Rose in the playoffs, 26 a game. So that was actually that second year, Chat. So his second year in the league, 20 a game in the regular season, 78 games played. So, pretty healthy the entire season. Way healthier than any of the guys now. 48% for the field, only 26% from 3 as well, too. So he's just 50% from 2 each of those first 2 seasons. But 20 a game in the regular season for that sophomore year. And then in the playoffs, I guess one series, 5 games. But he went up to 27 a game in that series. 42 minutes a game, was taking the shots. Still pretty good numbers, though, all the way across the board. And then 27 a game in 16 games played in the 10-11 playoffs. And he was only 39% from the field that year, Chad, in 16 games played. An average of 9 for 23 per game. Kind of brutal on the scorecard, honestly, to see the single-digit shot. I guess, did he lead the NBA in field goal makes as well, too? Because he has 11 the previous year. I guess maybe with the 5 games he wouldn't qualify. That's probably what it is, Chad. Okay, are we on? Yeah, we're on the 10-11 season. So per game for the playoffs, maybe we're underrating. Obviously, still the 30% is dramatic, and maybe now with some of the offensive increases, I mean, some of the scoring numbers are higher as well too. Just more players averaging more points. now compared to at least 2011. So maybe there's just more, more guys hitting double shots again. I mean, you see everybody's kind of in the mix right there. So yeah, 9.6 is pretty close. I mean, right on the edge, I guess. Oh, LeBron 9.6. So wait, where was Derrick Rose again at, chat? Oh, was he maybe a non-qualifier? Let's see here. Oh, we're still in the regular season. Yeah, let's go playoffs. Field goal makes. So 9.3. So the regular season field goal makes, chat, 9.6. Am I wilding? I don't know. I feel like you look at the stats every now and then, but definitely don't claim to be an expert by any means. So, okay, league leader in field goal attempts, 11, chat. So I guess it just shows you how much we're looking at the Giannis page. We're like, well, okay, everybody's making double-digit shots a game, right, chat? But you got only 3 guys, I guess, this year. So Giannis, Shea, and Jokic, better than LeBron. Hey, yo, chat. Cade at 9.8, though, would have been right there. Durant, LeBron, Tatum, Edwards, Brunson, Franz Wagner. And then Karl Towns at 8.9. So that'd be your 9 or more field goal attempts made crew, I guess, this year. So maybe this is an interesting watch list going forward, chat. Because again, field goal percentage, usage rating and all that stuff, you don't want to necessarily just chalk it up to, he's just making shots, so he's a good player. But I mean, sometimes we just primal basketball brain as well too. So I mean, as a list. Anytime we sort a list of stats and we're just like, okay, we like all these guys, it's like this list of stats must be good. So, I mean, we've got Cade up here. We've got Tatum. Obviously LeBron, Jokic, and Shea, Giannis, and all those great guys. But, Cade is like, next up on the list. LeBron is sort of, 40, still hanging out there with all these guys. And then Franz is like, maybe the non-all-star that's in the stats mix with some of these guys. Because still, I guess the three-point shooting, I mean, as we know, Chad, 29.5%. I guess for the Orlando Magic fans that know that just have to watch Franz brick threes all year. Chad, hey, yo, sorry about that. I guess Michigan didn't quite get the three-point shooting figured out. But, of course, he was a better three-point shooter at Michigan. I mean, he still was a guy at Michigan that you're like, three-point shooting upside. But he was better than, I think he was better than 29% at Michigan. I could be wrong. Maybe he was a little off. It wasn't necessarily like the go-to part of his game, but it's also just the distance as well too. I didn't feel bad. Yeah, he was 34% that sophomore year, so it's not like he's automatic. He's not Jordan Poole, Chad. I think Jordan Poole might have been in the low 30s as well too for most of his career. But shout out, great player. Hit some game winners, so we'll take a chat. But again, trustable anyways in a college setting for the three. But anyway, it's Franz as well too, so. Not like Michigan fans didn't trust him anyways. But, yeah, wait, so for the playoffs, what does it look like then? Is Shea probably... I was going to say, is Shea leveled up? Giannis leveled up, of course, 12. Shea, 10.2. So Paolo and Franz both at 10, chat. Shea, Jalen Brunson, and then Donovan Mitchell. So maybe we just have to keep an eye on the Magic in the East just in general. I mean, with the weakened East as well. I mean, I hate to do Eastern Conference preview in May, I guess, we're basically in June, but in May of the season that hasn't even ended yet, and it's already Eastern Conference preview, but it's like, could they be the best duo in the Eastern Conference next year? I guess, are we just immediately disrespecting both the duos in the Eastern Conference Finals, chat? Hey, yo, Magic get eliminated in the first round. We're like, oh yeah, they're just automatically better than Halliburton and Siakam, but, Paolo is just, obviously one of the next captivating talents of what's his potential. Cade, does he have the one number 2 that stands out in this way? I guess the thing would be maybe if they traded for Durant or something, or, any sort of major player. So they trade for Franz and then steal the duo from the Magic. But if they have Durant, then Cade and Durant is definitely in the mix. Chat, when Devin Vassell and Dame, RIP Dame season next year, but Devin Vassell and Pat Connaughton on the Bucks, is that going to be a top combination in the East? I don't know, chat. But, we Siakam and Halliburton. Because Siakam, he's not a free agent. I think he's still under contract. We'll trust our gut, chat. I don't think he is. Towns and Brunson, of course, still. Assuming that they run it back with the players anyways. Mitchell and Mobley, of course. Those guys actually made All-NBA as well, too. I guess Towns and Brunson actually made All-NBA. Mitchell and Mobley did. Of course, Tatum and Brown with the asterisk of Tatum being healthy, which is why the conversation is, I guess, opened up to that, to who is sort of the interim title for best duo in the league. Because, again, even with Tatum hurt, it would have to be, hurt for multiple seasons. And then I guess, if obviously, it's like, if we're making a UFC analogy, if you're like, okay, the champion is in a different phase, which, John Jones, what's going on? But, if you're like, okay, the champion's obviously not fighting right now or something, then it's, you gotta just take the belt and give it to somebody else. But, or, unable to compete or whatever. It's like, okay, if Tatum, and we're not saying that this is possible, again, we trust his ability to recover from that, from that injury. But, it's like, okay, if there's a couple of season delay or something, or it's like, if Tatum gets hurt and then, worst case scenario, another player, it's like, okay, now there's multiple seasons of the duos not being together for whatever reason, then, then maybe they lose the title. But going into next season, they're still the best duo in the Eastern Conference. I guess because Halliburton, it's, they could still win the title this year. The Pacers, we're not just locking in the Thunder to win it right now. Okay, we can't do that yet, chat. Shea's going to have a title. Billy Buckets is going to have the Thunder Championship DVDs before we can get the Wembanyama DVDs, chat. It's going to be nuts. But, yeah, I mean, obviously the Pacers could still have the upset, I guess, in the odds. But, yeah, they would be in the mix for best duo. I guess, any of these teams. Jalen Johnson and Trae Young. Jalen Johnson and Risher Shea for the Hawks. The Heat, Bam Adebayo and Hero, chat. The Heat are going to be... Maybe the Heat are a sneaky tank team next year. Maybe they're not even a sneaky tank team. But I guess just the idea of, like, again, sitting here in May being like, okay, a year from now, Miami's going to be the number 2 pick in the draft. Or it's going to be like, how does AJ DeBasta fit on the Heat? Can he play next to Hero and Bam? I guess that's going to be the conversation next year. I guess, can we look up 2026 mocks, chat? Hey, yo. McCain and Maxey? How good can McCain be next year, chap? I don't know. Maxey and Quentin Grimes? Is Quentin Grimes still on Philly? Or did they trade him? Where's he at now, chat? Cam Thomas and name a other player. I guess Cam Thomas probably just good enough to make the duo the number 1 duo themselves. But the Knicks storm out to the 10-point lead, chat. So back in New York, I mean, it's a long series. We can't get see that's the problem. We can't get too dramatic about anything that happens tonight. The really dramatic thing would just be, of course, the Pacers, I guess, officially advancing to the finals. But there is the ability, I think, for them to rise to the occasion. Not to say, and Brunson, I guess, is obviously these guys are a little bit more peak of their powers than Edwards is. He's, of course, 20, still not even 25 yet. But their ability to sort of, as we'll just say, rise to the occasion, just again as a way to just talk about them individually. Like, their ability to rise to the occasion does, at least in this game, does feel like a very reasonable thing. So, I mean, of course, in any of these games, chat, there is a chaotic thing that's going to happen at the end of the game. We can't count any of these teams out as well, too. But the MSG crowd, and just for them getting a win as well, too, chat, in New York, is that really what it is? Just the New York fans experiencing a conference championship win for the first time I guess I don't know for the first time this century, because the last time they made the conference finals, did they get swept? We can look that back up too, I guess, chat. I guess, are we done looking up best Eastern Conference top 2 players on the roster? Alex Sarr. Oh, Cooper. Sorry, Washington. Wait a second. Cooper Flex go to Dallas. That's right. Alex Sarr. Dylan Harper. The Wizards are what? 5th, 6th? Yikes, chat. Sorry about that. Make way, San Antonio. We just budged in front of the line to grab Dylan Harper. Our bad. But Alex Sarr's not bad. Jordan Poole. Wizards are nice. We're still fans of this team, chat. In the Eastern, we need good players because the West is so loaded. The East is, the Wizards might be a playoff team next year, chat. Just them running it back. The chemistry of the Wizards might be enough. It's like, oh, actually, let's not touch the. We actually have a 20-point a game score in Poole. Who's on the Wizards, chat? I guess this is last year's team. Brian Keefe. Hey, yo, chat. Still the coach of the team is crazy. I guess we'll see what kind of performance he's able to squeeze out from these guys. But Jordan Poole and Kuzma on the trade block, of course, went to Milwaukee. So they have Middleton because of that. Here, let's go back to the Spo track and see, chat. Okay, just Eastern Conference preview. Are the Wizards going to make the playoffs next year? Hey, yo, chat, but what are their FanDuel odds? I feel like this is a crazy enough take. Maybe this take can only work in May. It's like crazy enough to be like, okay, yeah, the East just seems so down bad right now. But the offseason having started, guys could be moved. I guess Giannis could just still be in the East. And it's like, oh, Giannis is going to be terrifying. I guess we'll just have to see how the offseason plays out. But Middleton, Poole, Brogdon. Oh, Brogdon will be a free agent in this offseason. So they'll still have Marcus Smart. Okay. So Rashawn Holmes is not really looking like a playoff team yet. But okay, so yeah, some of the younger guys, the lower contracts. Yeah, Asar, Koulibaly, Sadiq Bey, Corey Kispert, of course, Carrington, Keshawn George, A.J. Johnson, Anthony Gill, Colby Jones, Champagnie, Jalen McDaniels, JT Thor. So they got to re-sign JT Thor. Oh, bring back Vucevic. Bring back Tristan Vucevic on the restricted free agency chat. $2 million a steal. Can the Spurs get Tristan Vucevic? That'd be a trade, Chad. A three-team in the three-team trade, we need to bring in to get Giannis. We need to bring in Washington, and we just somehow get Vucevic in this trade as well too, Chat. I'd be a fan. Sadiq Bey. Somebody make a trade with the Wizards. The Wizards got some fun players. Maybe why are the players not good together, Chat? It's just the mystery of the NBA sometimes. But this is definitely a good place to go see if there's some talent that maybe is acquirable, Chad. That's for sure. And again, there's some definitely favorable contracts as well too. Like, I guess how did they get Sadiq Bey on a $6 million contract? Chad, was he injured or something? I remember what are his medicals like? Do we need to go look up his box scores again and just see? Oh, I guess we were on the Wizards page in general. How many games did he play for him, Chad? Where's Sadiq Bey at? I guess the fact that we have to ask where was Sadiq Bey at last year, maybe that just answers the question for itself, Chad. But he was on, he was on Atlanta. So they signed him. Wait, what? Already? They just locked him up, or did they trade for him, Chad? In the offseason. Ooh, I guess we can look up transactions. July 11th signed multi-year contract with the Wizards, and then just didn't play this past year, I guess. 24-20. So was he hurt all year? Oh, wait, did he tear his ACL? He might have, Chad. He might have got hurt. I guess I would have assumed it had some medical thing here for Sadiq Bey, but the Wizards seasons are over. Maybe he's made the recovery, and just their season's over at this point, and maybe he's good. But I guess, Chad, Sadiq Bey deep dive. They need Sadiq Bey if they're gonna make a playoff push. Ayo, Chad. It's not the most convincing argument, but I guess they just have to make the play-in game, and then from there, can they win a couple of play-in games? Sadiq Bey, why Sadiq Bey's ACL injury could be quite costly ahead of former first-round picks. Oh, yeah, Chad. Sadiq Bey scores 51 to lead Pistons win over the Magic 2 years ago. $6 million to steal, Chad. Hey, yo. Let's get Sadiq Bey back healthy. Sadiq Bey signs 3-year, $20 million with the Wizards. Sadiq Bey on the Knicks radar as trade deadline approaches 2 years ago. Okay. Knicks monitoring Sadiq Bey. So how would Sadiq Bey be helping him in this series, Chad? If the Knicks had Sadiq Bey, could they win over the Pistons? I mean, any sort of wing depth, of course, is going to help you. You're going to not play Sadiq Bey. I mean, I guess Tom Thibodeau, maybe he plays Sadiq Bey too much, Chad. But I guess, of course, once you get in the playoffs, the rotations do shorten, so it just becomes who minutes he's going to play. But just the options as well, too. I mean, we've seen this with Oklahoma City, just whoever is having a great night. Just sometimes we need to go defense, we need to go small, we need to focus on the three-point shooting, we need physicality, get Dort, Caruso, Cason Wallace, Kendrick Williams sometimes, just mixing it up. Kendrick Williams hitting a couple threes, like, okay, I guess Kendrick Williams night. But Pacers 18-25, definitely a crazy environment, but and if anything, again, a good, the Pacers can close out and win the series here, but them winning in this type of an environment, like we're saying, the Thunder have had that sort of bad boss, that they've had that final achievement level play in taking down Jokic. It wasn't the second round. They still, of course, had to get through the Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals, but the Jokic is sort of one of those last mountain type opponents where, now we actually have we're like, okay, we're in. We bought it. We didn't buy in, but now they've proven to us on the real basketball court way that they can take down these ultimate contenders and these top players and figure out just how to solve these, the most difficult problems in the NBA. And, are the Knicks on Jokic level? I mean, as a team, they're probably better than Denver, though that would be a good playoff series. Obviously, realignment, Chad. But Denver versus New York, that could be fun. I mean, Jokic in New York would be a fun playoff series. I mean, do we need realignment just for the 3 or 4 year window of the newness of like, okay, these new playoff series are fun? And then we just get used to it, of course, and bored, and we need to mix it up. Guys just start taking breaks. But reseeding, I mean, the fact that the NFL has like working on their reseeding before the NBA is crazy. And I would have to go look into the reseeding. Are they just reseeding after every round? I think that's what it is, chat. They had this whole document. I saw it on Pat McAfee show because they had it, on the TVs at work. And make no mistake, chat, Pat McAfee, he's on all the TVs at work. But they had this big document pulled up when they were talking about the rules. I mean, Rappaport was on the screen. I was just like wandering away from the host and just like taking laps around the bar, just like trying to read these NFL rules. But I think they were just basically just reseeding after every corner, after every round. So, instead of of course, March bracket style, where it's advancing on the seeding. Of course, I mean, you guys get it based on the playoffs going into it. It's just the records of the teams that are left. I mean, I guess even still, it's like, oh, wait a second, I thought it made sense, but who knows, Chad? But again, the fact that the NFL is like, we need to fix our reseeding tinkering rules before the NBA, who doesn't even use divisions and conferences and all this stuff barely matters. Just let us play a March Madness bracket style. I mean, just make the in-season tournament a 64. Expand, double the league, Chad, and then make an in-season tournament better. But make it the 30 teams just battling it out, a one-game scenario. Make it a week in the season. I get the idea of really working it into the course of the regular season, but maybe just screw the regular season at this point, chat. Also, who would have thought? It's a competitive first quarter, and we're rambling about, are the Wizards going to make the playoffs, and how do they fix the Eastern Conference tournament? Do we have any more summer topics to cover, chat? I didn't realize this was going to be a summer episode. Let's check in the notebook here. Oh, Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. Are we going to be talking about that? And then maybe Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. That'll be on the docket a little bit later. Those are the top 2 draft picks right now. I was thinking about that. Do we need to do a draft for summer storylines? Oh, the half-court heave. Not able to get it to go, chat. But, I was like, because it seems like, again, just because it's kind of fun, too, to just see the TV headlines, but not even just, like, be watching the shows or, be too consumed in the conversation, but just, like, the quick glances of, and maybe it's just, again, like, we're like, what storylines are that we're going to react to for whatever reason as well, too. Maybe those are the ones that are going to stick out. But it's like, oh, wait, okay, here's the Aaron Rodgers segment once again, back on the Steelers. It's like, wait, is this a rerun of first things first? Or, oh, no, this is live. Okay, they're still going, just another Aaron Rodgers segment. Cowherd's talking about, maybe it's Cowherd. I think Cowherd's the one, because, of course, we're a good, we got a solid TV rotation at the old restaurant, chat. Sometimes, see, the NFL season and stuff can get a little tricky because with the games being on, I guess, fortunately, the restaurant's not open on Sunday, but there was a couple other jobs where it was like with the games, when you switch over to the networks and you go back in on Monday and it's like the news is on. It's like, oh, check, get this, get back to ESPN quick, Sports Center, where's PTI? But usually, of course, we're good with a little FS1, a little ESPN as well too. Maybe some golf. Some old timer wants to ask for some golf game or request the Cubs. But I guess with the NBA season as well too, like you'll get you'll walk in the morning, the TNT is like, of course, on the Charmed or the Supernatural, whatever. So I mean, make no mistake, we've watched a lot of Pat McAfee and a lot of Supernatural at work, chat. It's just on. It is what it is. And I guess those aren't necessarily quality properties. They're not in the just on territory. I'm just saying, it's just sometimes not everybody's rotation is the same, chat. So would we be throwing on Supernatural? Probably not. But since it's on the TV at work, we've seen quite a few episodes. It is what it is. But what were we saying anyways? Something about Knicks Pacers and TV. Oh, summer storylines. Wizards, chat. We're almost there. What was the one summer storyline we were addressing? Wizards, Aaron Rodgers, and because Aaron Rodgers and Bill Belichick, again, those are just burned into the memory bank at this point. Maybe we do need to talk about Bill Belichick more, chat. Who knows? It seems to be just, again, it's just in the mix in all these shows at this point. But IT, they don't really have a crazy take, so there's nothing really to say, chat. I feel like the problem is we can't really judge because who are we to judge, chat? We all know it seems pretty obvious what's going on, and because again, we've been watching these on mute, so I don't even really know. Like, do we need to pull up Coward on YouTube and see what his takes about Belichick and his girlfriend actually are? But we'll also have to see what the coaching thing is, well, too, because I guess here is our take, chat. But I guess and maybe I guess it goes hand in hand about if this had happened maybe at more the peak of his powers. Like, is this the type of thing that he would have gravitated toward having it as, is this the type of thing that he would have been searching out 15 years ago? But if this had been happening 50, I guess, obviously if he's winning 6 Super Bowls and his girlfriend is, way younger than him, it's like, okay, well, let's be honest, chap. It probably goes the complete other way, and it's like, oh, Belichick's just like this crazy stud, and he's got 6 Super Bowls, and his girlfriend, his girlfriend's 30. Again, we're giving him the benefit of time at this point after a couple of years, but it just of course depends on it's all results based, of course, but it's just like Belichick was. If this wasn't even happening, there would already be questions about like in North Carolina, they don't necessarily have national title hopes. So it's more so, I think, the question of, okay, I think Bill Belichick could run a competent program, but is he going to run it? It's going to be like a disastrous North Carolina program. Like, I think that's kind of the fear. Like, we just don't want to see it go really, really bad in North Carolina. So I guess, again, it's like, what is going to, just what's on the table? Like, again, anything is on the table, obviously, with Bill Belichick at this point. So I guess, could that be also a really bad losing percentage as well, too? But, again, it's like we haven't even seen him really coach it under these circumstances. So let's at least let him. Maybe he's a better coach. We don't even know, Chad. Maybe he's a better coach. Maybe his mind's clear. You never know. Maybe he's locked in. Okay, yeah, he seems about as happy, and I don't know if he's is he a thrill to work with in North Carolina, but I don't, you never know, Chad. You never know. The interview thing, like, we didn't really talk about it. Is it that? It's crazy, but I mean, the interviews all the time, people are saying, don't address this, don't talk about that. People are shouting stuff out. It gets called out. It's something, it's like, oh, why aren't we talking about this specific part of the storyline? But it's like, maybe he wins 8 games in North Carolina. It does okay. I guess what's the new seasons and the new stand, and I guess with the new playoffs as well too, a 12-team playoff, like North Carolina can be a feisty, mid-teens tier school. Maybe I don't want to disrespect the Tar Heels. Maybe they have top 10 aspirations, and maybe they do have national title aspirations. Again, I'm not necessarily locked in on their fan base specifically, so I don't know. It's just the year to year. It's the football as well too. They're obviously, a college basketball school as well. It's the primary thing. I mean, it's with Michigan, like, we're definitely, shout out to the Wolverines. We're one of the best all-around schools out there. But I think the perception of our football program being a powerhouse national title contender, I think, is more like, okay, that, like, we need to be competing for national titles in football. Whereas, and we need to be winning national titles in basketball. But those feel a little bit more, there's just a little bit more joy involved in, I think, the college basketball experience than there is the college football experience. The college football experience just, it's a little bit more competitive, chat. But you start getting into Duke, North Carolina, and again, it's like, okay, Duke, you have to be the 1 seed in the tournament. It's that Alabama, Saban sort of expectations that you have there. But okay, there we go, chat. Belichick, I guess. Hey, yo, but yeah, who knows, chat? But we can't judge. We can't judge. I mean, everything's good by the books, I guess, chat. So at that point, then, I'm not saying that, who knows, chat? Who knows? I'm not 70 yet. I'm not 70. Who knows? I guess you never know what the timeline is for anybody's life. But assuming there is a 70 in there, chat, like, I'm not there. I haven't experienced 70 yet. I don't know. Like, what is Instagram going to look like when we're 70, chat? It's crazy. Life is crazy. You get the blue check mark, and now Belichick can slide. I mean, again, Belichick didn't even have DMs 15 years ago. Belichick, he had to write a whole letter, or somebody had to write a letter to Belichick, and then he had to, like, read a letter. I get, 2015, what are we talking? Email, chat? Like, what primitive technology we had back then. But now it's just like, okay, he's just got his glasses on, scrolling his phone one day, and there's just a DM. It's like, hi, and then he the profile is, what was she miss? One of those states, chat? Like, what do you do, chat? What do you do? It's a question that I think has haunted mankind of all. Haunted, I don't even think is the right word. It's a question that has, I don't even know it's been asked. I think it's just maybe it just exists as answered, chat. I don't know. It seems like the record, anyways, on the answering the DMs is pretty undefeated. But just from some of these celebrity stories, anyways, we hear. But yeah, you just have to let him coach. Because I'm not wrong, right? Am I getting the timeline wrong? We're gonna Google Belichick Jordan Hudson timeline. Hey, yo, chat. But she wasn't around with the Patriots, right? I guess he hasn't even been coaching for a couple years as well too, because Mayo coached last year, even though he wasn't the coach at North Carolina. Now he'll be the coach of North Carolina this season, with, of course, Vrabel being the head coach at New England. So, yeah, this was a new off-season introduction, and again, I feel like, again, it's just sort of his whole vibe is changing, anyways, and maybe it's just a person. Yeah, the whole is it a personality turn? They would take it anyways, but just sort of with the 12-win team instead of a 6-win team. But I feel like the comment section on Belichick's ring cam footage was pretty positive. So it's just it's just the internet, chat. It's gonna clown. It's gonna troll. It is what it is. We're having a good time out here. It is what it is. There's gonna be jokes. We're all in. We're immature, chat. All on Instagram. Immature. We have Instagram and access to a comment section. Like, it's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be disastrous. We can't control ourselves. But regardless, like, I'm just saying, it is a little bit of a. And he hasn't been coaching as well too. I mean, the Patriots were bad without him as well too. So I don't know if that helped, but I don't know why it would make a difference. But let's just see, chat. Let's give him a chance. Let's give the man a chance. Maybe he's newfound hope in life, a second, a new lease on life, and now he's like, the coaches or the players in North Carolina will look back like in the documentaries way later, and they'll be like, yeah, this is the best coach I ever had. Belichick with Jordan Hudson. It's just Belichick is just. I guess are we reading all the stories? But this is just like a robotic smile that's on Belichick's face the entire time, chat. You're like, okay, maybe this is real. Maybe Belichick hasn't experienced emotion in 2 decades, maybe even longer. How long has he been coaching football? I imagine he was pretty, had pretty similar demeanor when he was on the Giants. The Browns aren't going to necessarily make you any happier as well too, and then with that attitude, winning Super Bowls in New England, those other stops, it's not going to be any better. So, Towns driving, chat. The Knicks are still up 8. I guess we should mention as well too. I guess I was trying to buy time to figure out what we were talking about with with the off season, but who knows, chat? It's just lost into the abyss. I guess we'll just have to check the Sadiq Bey, maybe. I don't know. I guess it was something. We were ranting about Sadiq Bey making the playoffs, but it is what it is, chat. We should focus. And we also have another great historical game as well too. Another Knicks Pacers game, a game 7. I think this is a Knicks win because 94, so it'll be them in the finals. And the game is titled Patrick Ewing wins, so a lot of clues there, chat. But I guess we'll have to see what the score is here. Scorecard not present at the moment, but I think this game goes down to a last-second shot, so pretty competitive all the way through. And maybe that was what is sort of influencing what we were saying, sort of our game 7. We're watching a game 7 on the other screen, so it's like, it'll get some little, the vibe sort of, what's the non-pause way to say it, chat? But the vibes are radiating over. There's some overlapping vibes, maybe? Is it the best way to say it? Vibe matching? I don't know. I guess it's not matching vibes, but the whatever sort of game 7 vibes are being projected. Hey, there we go, chat. Maybe that's it. The game 7 vibes of this historic game are being projected. I think we got there, chat. I guess that you could get a pause anywhere, but the historic vibes are being projected on the. It is what it is, chat. But still game 5, still competitive. Could still force a game 6. So series starts looking really short once you get to game 6, chat. But other than that, the Pacers, still give him a chance for this game. Still give Halliburton a chance to turn it around. Mathurin, 1 for 4 to start as well too, chat. People haven't been a fan of Mathurin's performance in this series. Unbelievable. I guess I didn't know we were anti-Mathurin now. Brunson with the hot start, and Towns as well too, chat. We're not paying attention, and Towns and Brunson are cooking. Maybe that's good, because what happened when they made the comeback win in that one game? What did we throw on, chat? Was that the Revenge of the Sith watch or the Common album? I forget which one of those we were going through then. But the minute we got distracted and started focusing on something else, the Knicks started storming back. So I don't know. Are we superstitious Knicks fans all of a sudden, chat? Who knows? Chalamet's like tuning into the live stream, like put Revenge of the Sith back on. But it's working for him so far. I guess we don't have it in the background right now, and they're winning. But yeah, OG Anunoby 0 for 2. So where's Halliburton? We didn't check Halliburton. 0 for 2 for Halliburton. 2 points. Slow start is what it is. We'll give him a break, chat. And why are we giving Halliburton, Edwards? Well, Indiana's up 3-1 over the Knicks. So, I guess if Halliburton drops the series and the stories, the storylines become different. The narratives change. I mean, it all goes back to normal, chat. Edwards goes back over the player rankings, back to Halliburton. It's like, what kind of fever dream was that for a second, where Halliburton was almost better than Anthony Edwards? But, I mean, again, at this point, it's seeming like it's getting close the other way around, chat. Hey, yo. I mean, Brunson, of course, is elevating his player status as well, too. And, I mean, that's, like we've said before, I mean, this is the other part that you kind of have to sort with the player rankings aspect of it, and that is, as well, just admitting, like, who is at the peak of their powers, who is at a different stage. Is Brunson going to have the name value versus some other star players and some other guys? But, obviously, Brian, he actually might, because Strahan and Gayle King, chat? I guess, are they co-workers? Oh, whoa! Hey, yo. Spike Lee in the orange and blue pinstripe? Looking great, chat. He got the suit out for the game tonight. He wore his best Knicks attire. I feel like normally, of course, I feel like I guess he's always in classy stuff, but maybe using a different type of jacket. But, I guess his suit is not too far off from the Spike Lee rotation. Is there an Instagram page just dedicated to Spike Lee's courtside fits? Just his game fits? Because that might be, I don't know, Chad, that's 20K at least for followers. Following the Spike Lee game outfits. I know you got at least one. Make no mistake, we'll follow it with I'll get the personal account follow and the Rem and Sam pod. We'll help support right away. We'll send the link to Sam, make him follow. I feel like Sam would follow that. I feel like that might be in Sam out. Honestly, that might be like a Sam likes that post, and then all of a sudden it's in our algorithm as like, Sam liked this post. Which is the funniest. This is my favorite part of the algorithm, chat, is just like scrolling through and just be like, oh, Billy Bucket's exposed. Just watching, I guess, highlights. It's like, oh, Billy Bucket, he's liking non-Shea highlights as a Thunder fan. Or, what's this? The champ as a Lions fan. What's this Randy Moss Vikings highlight reel that he liked? Hey, yo, exposed, canceled. But Knicks, Towns, oh! A Towns game, chat. Here we go. Karl Towns, was that a little flex on him, chat? Can we get a replay on the flex? I'm not even sure what just happened. Turner, a little, getting out physical by Towns in the drive. I mean, that is Towns going up strong, chat. That is him using his quickness and athleticism, because he can, of course, have those guard-like drives as a big. But he is still, of course, going straight up to the basket instead of like, okay, I'm playing for the foul, I'm flailing, blah, blah, blah. Getting sort of weak on the attempts. But fighting through Turner there. Did he get the and one? I think he did. We were just watching the play out, I guess. 14 and 8 in the first half, nearing a double-double. 1 assist as well, too. But the armband has, he might honestly be one of the players that, I guess the forearm band, honestly, it works for everybody, chat. It works for everybody. It's a big task as well, too, because I guess Iverson has the sleeve, chat. Is it a disrespect to Iverson, or is the sleeve just so popular that not every time we put on the sleeve, it's like, oh, you have to live up to Iverson's name? Because every time you put on the forearm band, it's like, of course, immediately like Kobe and MJ. Or like, okay, those are the guys that wear the Iverson band. Or the Iverson band, the forearm band. And chat, we got a double Patrick Ewing appearance. Patrick Ewing might be one of the few people on both TVs at the same time right now. He's courtside at the Knicks. Oh, maybe, and Spike Lee, chat. Pat Ewing and Spike Lee, 30 years later, still at Knicks games, still hanging out. Patrick Ewing, I guess players still disappointing Spike Lee. Spike Lee still cheering on anyways. The Pacers still in the mix. Nothing has changed, chat. Good old times. Good old times. I'm glad, chat. I'm glad. We're remaking everything in Hollywood. This is actually a good remake. Pacers Knicks in 2025. I'm down for it. I'm down to experience these 90s things and, properties, these 90s properties in 2025. And actually, again, at high quality because, they have been remade. I feel like the 90s stuff that they remade, I guess, again, it's like, how soon do we remake stuff? So that stuff is obviously in the sooner versions of the stuff that we're remaking. But it also, I think, unfortunately, seems to be in the worse stuff that we're remaking. I guess the first two that I'm thinking of are the White Men Can't Jump remakes and the House Party remakes. So obviously, if I think of the weaker remakes, Space Jam remakes. So if I think of Spring Hill Entertainment during the 90s, chat. LeBron, stop with the 90s remakes. We just let the classics live, LeBron. Is he just trying to ruin everything from MJ, chat? Just like we just got to erase this whole decade from existence. So then we only focus on the 2010s. But fortunately, at least the movies still live on. And I think there's been like sequels and stuff. Like, what was there, a new Matrix a couple years ago? I mean, we're still making Toy Stories, chat. So that was 95. But offensive foul on the Pacers, chat. Tough first half. Good first half for the Knicks. Is this the best first half so far? We'd have to go back and look at the game that the Knicks made the comeback. But again, I think it was a third quarter sort of swing and effort that they had, more so than just the straight halftime score. But I guess it's not too far off. So just go back and look here real quick, chat. Game 2, because game 1 went to overtime. So I think halftime, if I remember correct, was decently close in that game. And I guess it's not a blowout right now. It's 14 points. It's still a couple of shots away from like, oh yeah, the Pacers are going to the finals, I guess. But yeah, it was 24-26. So I mean, it was tied at halftime, basically, Chad. Or Knicks up by 2 at halftime in game 2. And then Indiana, and then, I guess we're not remembering that game. I feel like we've just not remembered game. We need to go back and watch game 2, Chad. Was that one of those revenge? Was just more focused on Revenge of the Sith than the actual game itself or whatever. But yeah, 14 points is very encouraging for Knicks fans right away. Chalamet's got a big smile on his face, chat. Is it Kendall Jenner? Is it Kylie Jenner, or is it the Knicks game? I don't know what's better, chat. Is it better that we got the names wrong? Is it worse? We don't want to start any problems, but also could be funny. Finals, the hypothetical Pacers Knicks logo. There is Shea, chat, on the graphic for the NBA Finals. Hey yo, already happening. I mean, there is, of course, and now again, I guess the 6 trophies pod, chat. We're just gonna copy everything they say, I guess, on these live streams from now on. But smart guys, chat. They know what they're talking about. Shout out, veterans of the game. But they were talking about as well too. Like every time there is a vibe shift, like there is an adjustment period that you have to have when the league sort of turn over the new talents and the new sort of dominating teams and the new dominating players. Because maybe if Edwards was on the graphic, it'd still be like, okay, we're here. Edwards is like, okay, it finally happened. But I mean, it's true. Like when Steph, I remember when Steph was arising, like obviously, of course, when Steph was ascending into the top, winning the finals and MVPs and stuff like that. Of course, at this point, it's like, who's not in love with Steph Curry as a basketball player? And you just get to the point where it just becomes so legendary that's just undeniable. But initially when it's first happening, as well too as just a competitive sports fans for this too, as got the Spurs just on and that's immediately in the Western Conference, like the teams that are shifting place. There was never like a real series because the Clippers unfortunately eliminated the Spurs the year after we won the finals against the Heat. But there was never like a real Warriors versus Spurs changing of the guard series. But obviously, competitively, that was definitely the balance that shifted. Spurs were there. And, the Thunder as well, too, before they traded Harden, obviously, would have been in that mix for those couple of seasons as well, too. And, I mean, even still with the Warriors as well. I mean, definitely, we would have just needed the Warriors, I guess, we probably would have been more fans of the Warriors at that point because we would have just been sick of the Thunder. So we would have been ready to let the Warriors crew take over. But it was like, are we really ready? Steph Curry, who's this guy in the Western Conference? Like, what about Tim Duncan? What about Ginobili, Chad? What about Ginobili on that finals graphic? But, it is true. It's like, okay, Shea is here. Is this, how many more times are we going to see this, Chad? I guess maybe at least 4 for this upcoming series. But the league, of course, is turning over, and it's just going to be getting used to it. But, again, like I think, like we were saying as well, too, last night, you can't necessarily push certain guys into becoming faces of the league or whatever. Obviously, like even the talent themselves can emerge in a certain way. Like we're saying, Shea is obviously a great guy, but there is still like if Ja Morant, even Ja Morant, I think was even over Anthony Edwards in the jersey sales highlights that we were looking at last night. So if Ja Morant was putting the basketball talent together, like it's like okay, maybe there's the easy fix right there. Like Ja Morant is just, without a question, everybody just kind of, again, it's just like a unanimous, nobody even decides, just face of the league. I mean, it happens with with music chat and with hip hop, like it's not like everybody gets in the room and just decides that, oh, Kendrick is the number one guy right now. I guess the Drake fans are gonna be like, hey, we still haven't decided. Drake's still the number one guy. It's like, well, we can pull up the number. Now we'll use the Drake argument, chat. Pull up the numbers. Look at the streams. But I think it's also the argument on top now of all of the other arguments as well too. But and I mean the longevity of Drake's run can't be. I mean it's just gonna go right back the other way as well too. But I mean not the point, chat. The point being, it's just like look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie, chat. Kendrick is the face right now. He's the guy with the streams. The album is still the dominant album. The songs from the back catalog, or it's the dominant back catalog right now as well. I mean, again, that was another Drake point as well too. It's like, well, the back catalog, because I mean, they're not going to be arguing, honestly, never mind versus Mr. Morale, but the back catalog. Everybody goes back to the Drake back catalog. But it's like, well, I guess Kendrick now has the most, and I guess because Drake has so many albums. At some point, it's like, well, yeah, I guess those last couple albums streaming at a million plus streams in the dailies is not no small achievement, chat. Drake's still crushing it, but again, it's not. There's no memo that goes out. Obviously, it's just like Kendrick is the face of hip hop now. It's just the man ascends to the top and dominates and captures everybody and becomes top spot. And I think Drake might actually be a good way to look at it as well too, because and maybe it's not fair to Drake. Obviously, the dominant run for him in the streams and in the commercial success, and obviously in the great music as well too. Has a stacked catalog of great songs. All that stuff, is a very great argument for him to just be the face of music and face of hip hop in general. But it did feel like that was controversial in a way. Obviously, his, we're not trying to cook back up the Not Like Us diss track again, but his obviously, I guess I'm not gonna say his place because that's not, I'm not even the one to be able to discuss that, but. Just listening to other discussions as well too, obviously as the the top guy, not him just like on the list, but it's like the number one top face sort of representation, the logo. Is he actually that? Clearly there's a popularity thing here, and it's like, okay, I guess if we ask the kids, then yes. But like we're saying, now of course it's at least veered in a different way, and at some point it's gonna flip over. At some point Big X the Plug will be the number one streamed rapper on Spotify, chat, and he'll take over, or Tyler the Creator will ascend back up, and Travis Scott will drop 2 more insane albums in the live tours, and it may even be, I'm not saying Travis Scott's gonna take down Kendrick in a diss song, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, it's Travis's time, but there will be whatever the next natural progression is, and handing off will be Doechii, chat. It could be well, I guess all these people will at some point probably have time at number one, you would assume. At least that's that would be like the NBA list for who could be the best player in the league anyways. Those are all I guess it's not just those 3, but those are 3 that would definitely be on the list. And obviously, I guess I was gonna say with Travis and Tyler being more established at this point, but Doechii, I mean, she just got so established right away. It's best rap album with the first entry. That's like, well, okay, the resume's stacking up pretty quick. But Travis and, like we're saying, with the streams, the back catalog does help as well too. So with them just having that to go back to for helping to boost that number does of course make those guys like right next up to like, okay, I mean, it seems like there's a number one here in the mix. I mean, could Metro get to that spot as a producer? I mean, we saw guys like Ye, but I mean, of course, Ye was behind the mic as well too. But could he be the number one most streamed guy in hip hop at some point? Who knows? But the point, like, is like we said with Shea and Halliburton, there is definitely an ascension to the top spots of them as players in the league. But it'll be interesting to see how it'll gravitate into the actual face of the league conversation, because again, Edwards is just, it is what it is, chat. I don't even know if you can put your finger on it all the time, but that's just a guy that is, of course, already as captivating a figure as these guys, even if there's still that last piece of, and I guess we're just trying to find ways to not be biased and say Wembanyama, because let's be honest, chat, like Wembanyama is like, I guess to tie it all back in our minds, because we're Spurs fans, this is how we process stuff. Like Wembanyama is a big winner of the playoffs, but I guess not a big winner of the playoffs, but it is an interesting, again, just in the full conversation of face of the league, he's obviously a guy that's in the mix. So just in the storylines, if Edwards' playoff series, and if these playoff series impact that greater picture, then obviously Wemby's a part of it as well too, because they're saying he's a part of the greater picture. But like we're saying, Edwards is, I think, a guy, and Luka as well too, just two very scary people in terms of the basketball stuff, and because I'm a greedy fan, chat. I want Wembanyama to achieve all of the stuff that we were projecting him to be as a player. And I think we obviously all want him to do, but we weren't just projecting him to be the best player in the NBA as well. We were projecting him to be like the face that we were going to change the logo to Wembanyama at some point. The NBA, the national basket, the NBA alien, chat. I don't know what we were going to change the league name to as well, but it's like Wemby's going to be the savior of the league, chat. I'm not going to throw around too big of words here, but just I can't, get to the source to think of a better word. But, in that vibe, like he was entering the league with those vibes, of course. And I want him to be able to live up to those, actually unreasonable expectations, even though he's an insane talent. But, you would never put those expectations on anybody. I want him to live up to them. But, again, Edwards and Doncic were two guys that are obviously in his generation-ish, and maybe a little bit more Edwards than Doncic, but guys that are in his generation that could be face of the league, that could be dominant, and could be guys that are immediately basketball threats. And like we said, just the storyline conversation, likability meter, chat. Wemby's not the most liked player. If Wemby's not number one in the player polls at the end of the season, the GM polls, then we're not satisfied, I guess is what we're saying. But maybe it is also just like the superstition, the sort of galaxy brain. I don't know if we were using that term correctly, but like the astrological side of the NBA, where it's like, how many of these guys can there be? Like if Edwards is going to ascend to be that guy, like, and not to say that he still can't, obviously, but it's like, okay, maybe the door is open for Wemby. Maybe the storylines are still, the league is rigging it for Wembanyama, if it's already written, chat. Maybe it's written for Wembanyama to actually be the dominant guy, and it will ascend that way. We can't let these other legacies get too out ahead. Like, is it going to be too much? And not to say that we don't believe in our guys will too, to overcome. But Shea, of course, is great. But the Thunder as well too, of course, are a team. So it's like, if we're able to weaken the Thunder at some point, then we'll have to see. I mean, we'll really test Shea at that. We still don't believe in him, chat. It is what it is. No, I'm just kidding, of course. But do we believe in him more than Wembanyama? I guess would be the guy. Just if we stack our team more than the Thunder to get a title, which again I would not be mad about. I guess it would maybe be interesting for what we were just saying about the Wembanyama storylines of it. But at the end of the day, as a Spurs fan, we win in titles either way. I'm not going to be upset. But if we stack our team more than Wembanyama, then I guess we could have the same sort of conversation around Shea. But like we're saying, Ja, even this year, like the numbers still show out in the jerseys and all that stuff. Like Ja Morant is still one of the most popular players in the league, even if the basketball talent isn't in the same level and in the same competitive environments anymore than it was a couple years ago. And again, not to say that it can't even get back to that level, but a guy like Paolo, even Cade, chat, a guy like Cade, we might still, even in the Edwards Cade conversation, might be really interesting from an on the court standpoint at this point. Like again, I'm kind of irrationally afraid of Edwards, so I just would be afraid to draft any other guys and just be like, okay, well, Edwards is the motivation now is gonna just take on the league and get revenge on everybody. And I guess Luka's kind of showing that killer mentality as well too, in an extra way, where it's like, oh yeah, I mean, we knew it was scary, but this is the chin, chat. We can see his chin again. Hey yo, it's like, okay, maybe Luka's a little more committed to this than we thought. But with Edwards, yeah, we're saying, we're just a little bit more, I mean, and we irrationally love all the talent of these young players as well too. But Cade is an interesting playmaker as well, just brings a different dynamic offensively than Edwards does. That is a real conversation. It's like, who would you rather build a team around going forward? But again, even if I could, I think, okay, honesty, chat, we'll take podcaster mask off and just go real Rem mask here for a second. Like, would we still rank Edwards in the player ranking over Cade? And I think that's fair as well, too, because Edwards has had more of a career. But would I, and again, do I want to be too biased after what we saw from this playoffs? But I think you've also, as well, you can check the tapes on our irrational confidence toward Cade's upside as a player. Like, I might pick Cade in a fantasy draft over Anthony Edwards. If it was really like, if I would just have to sit in a room and just be like a dark room. I'd have to go to an Aaron Rodgers darkness retreat. It's like, okay, we have the number 7 pick. And I guess what would be the pick where it would be like Anthony Edwards is definitely on the board. So we know, like, I don't know what we're just redrafting the whole league. So there's no like parameters. Like the league is only going for the next 10 years. But, it's like, okay, Jokic and Giannis, I guess Wemby's off the board, obviously. Jokic and Giannis, we'll assume we'll give them credit. They're still off the board. Shea's off the board at this point. Tatum, I think, goes off the board as well, too. Though, I mean, we could, with the injury, I guess it opens up a different basketball conversation. But just to make Tatum healthy for the conversation and give respect to his ability as a player. Like, he is, and his legacy as well, too, with what he's been able to accomplish, will make him a lock in this conversation. So that would be, we're at 5 guys there, chat. First team all fantasy draft. Wemby, Shea, Jokic, Giannis. Wemby, Shea, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum. Wemby, Shea, Jokic, Giannis, and Tatum. So if we have this like hypothetical 6th pick, and I guess, we'd have to really scan to see what the rest of our big board would be. But if it's like Edwards and Cade is the next pick on the clock, or I knew that was going to be the 2 players left on the big board, like I would just have to sit in a darkness retreat room and just had to be like, okay, do I want to risk the perception of taking Cade over Edwards, or do I want to go with my gut and just take Cade and say we'll take the playmaking and just go with the 3-point, with the 3-point shooting maybe, and just lock it in and just, it'd be a crazy thought, chat. But I guess what I'm saying is I could see myself leaning there, but I don't think I could see myself getting at this point into the conversation of Cade being like a face of the league type guy. Super popular player, I think, is the potential, obviously. Super captivating, maybe some Devin Booker-y style popularity with more, like we're saying, actual number 1 player impact, a little more playmaking impact as well, too. But Edwards is just a more captivating player in that way as well. So, like we're saying with Halliburton and Brunson, and I think Brunson is in this argument too. Like Brunson is a super, and Brunson of course has continued to level up as a player and is now in the Eastern Conference Finals, is proving that he can carry his team even farther and farther. I mean, he's carrying his team maybe to only a 6-game loss in the Eastern Conference Finals when they go back to to Indianapolis in Game 6 and just don't show up, chat, or whatever. Who knows? But 6 for 10 tonight, 14 points, star performance along with Towns so far. But he was a guy that just captivated audiences even when he was still like, oh, is he kind of a first round playoff type guy? It was still kind of proving himself as what he could be. He was just, and again, it's not saying like, oh, it's Halliburton not captivating. I think Halliburton is a very captivating player, but it's just got to do the list at some point. And Wemby's still number 1 on the list, so it's like, okay, well, it can't be number 1. Got to at least be number 2. And then if we're starting the argument number 2, we're opening it up for anybody else in the conversation, I guess. But, and I guess for me, it's just to actually see that kind of gel together in that way would be exciting, chat. Because again, like with LeBron as well too, by the time that we were conscious basketball fans, like LeBron was drafted in 2003. So I mean, we're little baby basketball fans at that point. We don't really even know what's going on. So I mean, we might have the little Tykes hoop, and I don't know what our field goal percentage is on that back then. That might actually be the only time that we were a 50, 40, 90 player, was just that 2-foot haul little Tykes hoop, and we're just, waddling over there and just dropping it in. But so maybe no 40, no 3-point line, I guess. Maybe just like 50, maybe just 50, chat. Maybe just a really high field goal percentage. Who knows? But I wouldn't have been around to like witness the LeBron sort of rise in conversation and to see him become that face of the league guy. I mean, we saw him win the first title. I saw him go through those storylines, but LeBron was still an intimidating player by the time that I was, watching the league. And, I think actually the first basketball memory that I had that like really sticks out, obviously it pauses, the finals when the Spurs got the win over the Cavs. So there is the way where it's like, our first exposure to LeBron is losing a finals, but it's like, even still, that doesn't matter. It's just the idea of LeBron being the number 1 predator in the league still kind of always exists. And again, even the storylines of more so of him and Dallas and stuff, like I definitely heard them in the moment, but again, as a kid, like you're hearing them, you're not really. They still don't process the same way. They process the storylines, but like as a basketball thing, it's like, well, okay, LeBron's still good, still terrifying, but to actually see that player rise that way, because again, like I would make the debates that all of the the guys that we've had post LeBron and Curry, like we were saying, have been great stars, obviously, and been captivating figures, and have been more, they've been beneficial for the league instead of like this conversation of, oh, where is the guy at? And so I guess I'm not trying to approach it from that type of thing of like, I guess like we were saying with Wemby having that sort of savior complex, like I'm not trying to say that the league necessarily needs that. It would just be fun to witness that. And I guess, like with what the WNBA is having with Caitlin Clark as well too, where you just get the player that enters the league with the amazing expectations and achieves all of the stuff and just immediately is, maybe even winning in the playoffs. We'll still have to see year 2, like how the playoff stuff turns out for Caitlin Clark and the Fever as well. And, ultimately how that impact translates to the real winning chat. But, just to actually be able to witness that ourselves as NBA fans, for people our generation, again, the full start to career of it, start to end, I guess, career of it is the fun. I guess, we still haven't gotten to the end of LeBron's career, but at least in terms of the storylines, like we said, the legacy kind of is what it is at this point. I guess there is obviously the hypothetical last ring that he could get, whatever that looks like. Again, I'm not saying whatever, disrespectful. I'm just saying we don't know what version of LeBron we're going to get in this hypothetical last ring if it ever happens, and what his impact and that means that could add to the legacy. But at this point, it's like, okay, his legacy kind of is established as the legacy, and MJ's legacy is obviously established, and the debate is kind of set with these are the talking points we have for the LeBron and MJ debate. These are the careers that we're basically arguing at this point. Because again, even if he adds into like the amount of family members that he's playing with, the amount of points, like he's accomplished everything. So it just like becomes the amount, I guess, to which he's accomplished it. And I guess the finals would still be the last thing, like we're saying. But just to see it, to be like, oh, is this guy possibly? Because I guess like we're saying, the question marks of LeBron being able to do it, were a different thing by the time it's like him on the Heat and him on the end of the Cavs years versus just what is even his career going to look like in general. And I guess maybe witnessing with Steph a little bit as well too, but again, like we didn't necessarily see the initial Steph Curry career in the same way. Like we would have been just more finals and NBA focused and box score focused and stuff like that, and just not as tuned into some of the deeper cut stuff in the league, or like, oh, this guy's like an all-star level player who really has the potential to level up in the next type of way. Again, it's a couple of years away, but of course you remember like all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, the Warriors are in the best team in the league and they're going to win the finals, and they're going to again, terrifying LeBron, they're going to be the team to take down LeBron, the Steph Curry guy. So we definitely of course saw the Steph Curry jump into stardom. But I didn't get to see the Steph Curry because I guess he does have that whole Davison run as well too. I just again, it's not even the first thing I think of because I didn't necessarily witness it that way. But again, I did watch that. I would have been more championship focused and stuff like that back in the day, just watching the bigger events with the stuff that is on TV. But just the stuff that's getting thrown on. But that would have been, I guess here, Chad, we can look that up here real fast. The Steph Curry Davison, was that 08? Again, we should just know that right off the bat. But I think that was the Derrick Rose versus Mario Chalmers finals that year. I don't remember exactly what the full Final Four was, but I do remember that Memphis team. I do remember that final game. I do remember that was probably I wasn't really aware of Coach Calipari at that point, so we were rooting for Memphis. Chad, hey, whoa! Not to say that Calipari has steered us away from rooting for teams, but it's not like, oh, I was rooting for, Coach Calipari to win the national title at Memphis. We were just big Derrick Rose fans in that college run for that college team. He was just a fun player to watch. So it was like, okay, well, in this game, we definitely want Derrick Rose to win the title. And I remember being really bummed out about that as well, too, Chad. Just the competitiveness. It's like, well, even the team we have to pick for one game, they have to win. But, I guess, Chad, we don't see, like I said, we literally don't remember. They lost to Kansas in the Elite Eight that year. 59-57. So close, Chad. Steph Curry, could he win the big one? Even in the Final Four. But I think, obviously carrying Davis into that level was Fantastic chat. Historic stuff. This Kansas team won the national title. North Carolina was the team they took down in the Final Four. Oh, Tyler. Okay, Tyler Hansborough. So, yeah, I remember Tyler Hansborough. So, I honestly don't know why I don't remember hearing about the Steph Curry storylines in the moment the same type of way. Maybe we just weren't as locked in on the halftime shows or something. I don't know, Chad. But I do remember Tyler Hansborough. Was he National Player of the Year? So, that's like maybe a easy guy to remember. Hey, yo. But that's definitely an era of North Carolina basketball that stands out. Even though, again, I don't remember him playing with Ty Lawson. Like, obviously now it's like, oh, yeah, Ty Lawson. Shout out. Fun player in the NBA, absolutely. But I don't remember him. I was like, oh, yeah, he was Tyler Hansborough's teammate. It's not necessarily the first thing I remember as well, too. Wait a second. So what are we looking at here? Oh, yeah, Memphis and Kansas were in the national title game. So who did Memphis play in the Final Four, Chad? I guess we'll backtrack and see. Oh, UCLA in the final. Oh, Westbrook and Kevin Love. And I think I remember, again, this is I remember Kevin Love, I think. I don't know if whoa, Chad, whoa. Why remember Kevin Love and not Westbrook? I don't remember. I think I remember maybe it was more Kevin Love as a rookie. I don't know. That's a little fuzzy. Apparently the Kevin Love career not as memorable as the Tyler Hansborough career, but Westbrook getting to a Final Four as well too. Luke and Bob Mute and Derek Collison. So, I mean, it's a stacked team, Chad. Hey yo. And then Josh Shipp hanging out as well. The walk-on that got in the starting lineup. I don't know, Chad. But yeah, wait, Derrick Rose, what were we talking about? Calipari? We were rooting for this team, I guess. But, yeah, like, I guess what we were saying is I do want to see that type of, I guess, do we want to see the next top 3 player in NBA? Like, who's the next person in the lineage? The LeBron, the Jordan, then who's the next player? I mean, obviously we want to see that version of the player, but, maybe even a little less dramatic in that. So maybe that's what we're dealing with now, chat. But just that full rise of, wait. That player ascending into that level of, oh man, he did it. He achieved all this stuff. Because we haven't, like we said, we haven't seen the back-to-back champions. We haven't seen the guys necessarily make the conference finals runs. And obviously, Jokic and Giannis have been dominant players every year, statistically dominant, statistically impactful, right there as guys that can win the title no matter what team they're playing on. But again, they still haven't had that just terrifying, I guess, that last element, like we're saying, of just that LeBron, the Jordan, the Steph type level. I guess, Steph being on that level as well, too. But, Magic, I think, is on this level as well. Those might be the 5 guys, Chad. Those honestly might be the 5 guys. I guess Kobe. Kobe's on the level as well, too. So 6. First team all. And Jerry West, because he's the logo. Bill Russell. So first team all face of the league is Jordan, LeBron, Steph, Jerry West, Bill Russell, Magic, and I guess we have to put Bird in there as well too for the Magic. I guess. Hey yo, but yeah. So is Halliburton the next Larry Bird, chat? I guess that's the question that we ask. But third quarter starting up here. Knicks up by 11. So halftime is just zip right by, chat. Chuck, did he make him short in the halftime because he doesn't want to work less? I don't know, but. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll keep up with the second half here. Hopefully the Pacers can keep up with the Knicks. So the game is interesting, I guess. Hey, yo, stay tuned. Second half, up in there. Okay, chat. Brunson is having a game like we were saying with Edwards. You just need one of those games that just gets us that confidence back in you. You're just like, oh yeah, Brunson's an elite player. Brunson is one of the best in the Eastern Conference. Brunson can lead this team. We're all good to go. Right? I mean, in front of the home crowd and everything. I guess, again, Edwards didn't have the advantage of last night. Unfortunately, he was on the road, chat, not in front of the hometown, not in front of family, anyways. But with the Knicks at home, Brunson, great. I mean, Brunson's, I guess he's had his moments, but been pretty brilliant all series. And had to have a great game like this, just team on his back. I mean, Towns as well too, but this third quarter, hitting a couple shots right away, chat. The difficulty level is always, up there for Brunson, but just the ease at which he's able to make it look, chat. Just a great player. We love Brunson. Pro Brunson on this pod, of course, as always. And Neesmith still chasing him around, and just in general, I say that comfortability. I guess he's got some switches here. Turner switched on him. Oh, not able to get it to go, but the Turner switch leads to the... Is that Achua? Was that Precious Achua in the game? It didn't even dawn on me that, wait a second, we might be getting some Precious Achua minutes here. Knicks up by 16, chat. Timeout. Oh, no, it's Mitchell Robinson. Okay, the headband. I was like, wait a second. It's got to be Mitchell Robinson. But, taking Turner away from the basket, Mitchell Robinson gets the offensive rebound. So, 16, like we were saying, chat. Hey, yo. The Knicks looking good at home tonight. And the Pacers... I mean, they're, like we said, Halliburton and Siakam a little slow. Siakam just missed a little mid-range shot a couple of possessions ago. That is definitely a look that, right in his wheelhouse, chat. That little easy pull-up jumper, just front-rimmed it, just, easy little. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Double mute, chat. We're back. We did it again. Hey, yo. We're getting sloppy. Oh, whoa. We're getting unprofessional, chat, on the pod. Not unmuting the mic anymore. I guess we didn't write it down like we said we were going to do last time. I guess I don't want to jinx it. We haven't dropped the computer yet, so stay tuned. I guess now that we've said that, that will be happening. That's the hour 2 segment, is us scrambling to get the live stream back up. But I guess, hey, that's now. But, yeah, what were we saying? Oh, I guess, yeah, we just didn't have the mic. We weren't saying anything, chat, because the mic was muted, and it didn't matter. But, yeah, shout out to Brunson, just having a great performance to start the half, of course. Start the game, and to start this, I guess, yeah, to start the half. Has hit a couple of shots here in the third quarter to put the Knicks up by 16, chat. But I was thinking as well, too, in the break about what we mentioned earlier with 90s remakes, because even with Blade, chat, with Blade, they couldn't even get Blade off the ground. So I just wanted to see what other 90s remakes were out there that I'm not thinking of that we might have already had. Oh, that's right, the TV series. I'm not even thinking about the TV series, because is it like the Fresh Prince? Was it a remake, or was it a reimagining, a newer version? I think it might have been a remake. I think it was. Like, was he actually? It's a dumb question. Like, was he actually Will Smith's character in the newer Fresh Prince show, or was it just like a different version inspired by Will Smith's son? I don't know. Sent to live with. Which one of the sisters, chat? Hey, yo. Maybe Jeffrey. Just sent to live with Jeffrey. Jeffrey in the Uncle Phil role, maybe. But, yeah. So I guess for the TV shows, Walker, Texas Ranger is a 90s TV show? I thought it was a little more 80s. But best and worst. Oh, The Mummy? Hey, yo, chat. I guess we're both mummies. Is the original Mummy good? The Mummy is a franchise that we haven't felt the need to dig into yet. I mean, the newer one, I guess one of them was not good. So it's like, okay, well, is the other one good? I guess Flubber was a remake in the 90s of an older movie. But that was was that like 50 some years away? Maybe like 30 years away. That might have been about similar, like 90s to 20s. So, but Flubber, iconic though. The Metascore, not great. So is like this version of House Party going to be like Flubber? I guess the other thing with Flubber is it's got Robin Williams. Like, I guess House Party, I think, doesn't have a Santino cameo. We saw him in the trailers. We haven't seen any of these newer 90 remakes movies yet. Maybe we just need to watch them to check them out. As well, too, the Charlie Chocolate Factory, Alice in Wonderland, some of the Disney movies. Gone in 60 Seconds? Did they remake Gone in 60 Seconds, or is this a remake from an older movie? Is there like a 60s version of Gone in 60 Seconds? There probably is. Who would be in the 60s Gone in 60 Seconds, chat? Hey, yo, Con Air is a similar movie. No, on the mobile app, there's like a There's like a remade as tab. So wait, does that make sense? Remade as. So if this, again, this movie is like a copy of an older movie. Or sometimes like with the international influence as well too. If it's like there's an international version of this film, then it'll give you that. But apparently not on desktop, chat. I don't see, well, more to explore. No. We'll really scan chat. We'll really make sure that we're not missing any tabs. Yeah, I don't think it's on here. So I guess I could look it up. Yeah, well, here. Let's fact check chat. Oh, wait a second. Why is our battery life dying so quick? We were at 60% before this. Oh, probably because we have every app on our phone open. Okay, well. Ration the battery life, chat. It is what it is. So there we go. We have to, now we've been forced to not get on our phone. Great. For the benefit of everybody, I guess. But, yeah, I don't think this list is perfect. That list was just, oh, Ultimate Movie Remakes list. Okay. 90s reboots and revivals. Yeah, revivals. We're not necessarily looking revivals. Because, like, yeah, like Roseanne, like, they just picked that. Like, was it just like, okay, we never left. We're just back. Like, another one that we didn't watch. But that was, speaking of revivals, chat, I don't know if that one was revived. But at least they tried. So, yeah, most of these are, like, shows, I guess. Maybe that was the point. Oh, yeah, TV shows. Maybe we should read these a little bit better, chat. Best TV and 90s. List of film remakes in general. 15 remakes of 1990s in 2019. Is this just every remake ever? So this is a list of every movie ever, almost. Because there's a lot of... I mean, again, even if we're complaining about remaking stuff now, they've been remaking stuff forever. And I mean, we're always remaking and like, oh, this was fun, but this could be, you know, a modern twist. A little bit better. Completely ripped off. You know, however you want to do it, chat. It feels like it's all on the table for 2025. But 5 best and worst. So yeah, The Mummy, the best is... Wait, the best. Oh, The Mummy is the best. So not to be confused with the 2017 iteration of The Mummy with Tom Cruise, which is one of the big... Okay, yeah, so Tom Cruise is the failure. Whoa, what are we saying? The Mummy is the movie that didn't do well at the box office. The 1999 with Brandon Fraser is one of the most fun family adventure movies of the decade, chat. Yeah, we need to put that on the watch list. Absolutely. Oh, 101 Dalmatians. So did they basically remake this as Cruella? Again, you know, we could watch a little more Glenn Close as well, too, chat. The problem is, you know, once you watch Fatal Attraction, you're like, okay, I guess I don't need to watch another Glenn Close movie. But Meet Joe Black. Godzilla. Is that a remake? Cape Fear? Oh, yeah, see, that was remade... Oh, so this is, yeah, just best and worst remakes of the 90s. So Cape Fear was a remake from a 62 movie. Flubber, again, The Little Princess, The Haunting, best, The Monkeys, worst, Psycho. Okay, we might have to do, like, some actual research going through movies to see this one. Or I guess this one was TV and movies, so another combo list, but at least some maybe new results to pick out anyways. Oh, Fast and Furious. Yeah, that's just a franchise that has kept going. Charmed. First Wives Club's Power Rangers. 10 Things I Hate About You. Oh, the show? There was a 10 Things I Hate About You show? Maybe I should have known about that. Nikita from 2010 to 2013. Again, 12 Monkeys. Melrose Place. Anna Karenina. Little Women. Yeah, this list is not it, chat. Yeah, I don't know. But you know, anyways, speaking of remakes, wait, let's get a foul or a score check here after there is a foul on the play. Oh, Mitchell Robinson on the highlight just swatting Halliburton, chat. Hey, yo. Whoa, Mitchell Robinson just a menace in this game in general. We should be paying attention to the Mitchell Robinson game. We're giving Brunson credit just looking at the box score. Mitchell Robinson's the one out here actually making plays, leading to all the Brunson shots, the defense, the two-way stuff. 6 points, 6 rebounds, 17 minutes. 6 times he's completely, you know, menacing defense. 6 times he's played menacing defense on a guy and just forced a pass. So, yeah, Brunson with a 15-point lead, chat. So, I think it's time to go to the chat GPT and do a little cooking up, chat. Because we were talking the other day about that Sam movie where we were talking about if Sam had to make a movie where he has to help Jason Tatum get a recovery for his Achilles injuries. Like, what would that movie be like, chat? What would the stories be? So, we were looking at mad scientist movies and seeing if it needed to be remade from a mad scientist angle in terms of him maybe cooking up a remedy. But of course, a lot of those movies sort of carried over into the horror genre. So not that that's off the table, but I do think that we want to at least workshop a few more ideas before we just commit to a Sam, Jason Tatum, Achilles injury, horror movie, chat. I think that's just a different direction from where we're going to go. And plus, with Jordan Peele executive producing that movie this fall being released called Him, with Marlon Wayans, and there it's sort of a football training horror movie, thriller movie maybe. We don't want to just necessarily copy it with basketball. Maybe that's the perfect lane. It's just like, okay, now here's the lane for it. But, also, do we want to pay respect to this Jordan Peele executive produced movie, which I thought it was a Jordan Peele directed movie, but no, it's a Jordan Peele executive produced. So much more interesting. But Marlon Wayans, Jordan Peele, thriller, football, it's got enough going for it, chat. That, we'll definitely I will be in the theater opening night. Lock it in. We don't necessarily, I feel like we try to, stay in the background, don't necessarily give up our location or try to blow up our spot too much, but we will be at the theater opening night for that movie, chat. It is what it is. For that movie, for the new Denzel Spike Lee movie that's being released as well, too. There's a couple of joints, chat, this year that are like, oh, what is going to happen? So maybe next up in 2026 or maybe a little bit later as well, too, because, it's a big production, chat. We're going to need some time. These Tubi originals that we're cooking up, they're not Hallmarks, chat. We're not making Tubi originals every week. There's still... Okay, you give the movie some time to breathe. But it doesn't mean we can't go into the workshop and at least try to cook up. So yeah, chat, we'll be in the workshop for a little bit. The Knicks are up by 20. The conference finals getting a little less near the end. It is what it is. Setting ourselves up maybe for a good finals. And the problem was the finals were, a little bit... I guess some of the games were good last year, but I think the history of the finals wasn't, to be honest, chat, has there been mystery to the finals? Maybe the Thunder in game one will destroy the mystery just with whoever they play. I guess, again, maybe they're the team that's sort of unrested if this series does. Because I guess at this point it looks like it'll go 6. So at least, and maybe that's a good thing for the Pacers, honestly. Maybe that's a good thing. Again, maybe the kind of equal finals experience between them and the Thunder at this point. So it's not like the Thunder can take the rest because they're the more experienced team or whatever. But maybe there is an advantage for the Pacers. Okay, if we eliminate the Knicks on Sunday from the playoffs, at least we still get, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the rest 3-day break, and we're still a little bit more tuned up, and the competitiveness is still a little bit more ready to go. They're just a little bit more warmed up. The warm-up set before playing the Thunder. Maybe you just want that a little bit closer to the game than, almost literally a week out. I guess it's Thursday night, chat. I get confused. Normally we're live on Friday nights as well, too, but, it's Thursday night. So I guess, or will we be back Saturday? Because, again, I was saying Friday, so Friday to Sunday, but will it be Thursday to Saturday? I guess we'll look up for hypothetical next game 6. But, yeah, maybe they don't want the full week off. Maybe just a little too much. They're not necessarily, a massively injured team. I don't think we have, a Halliburton. The Pacers fans are going to be upset. I'm knock on wood, pause. But the Pacers aren't Halliburton's got this 7 things and Siakam's got this 7 things. Neither of the Thunder as well, too. We'll just double jinx both teams, so it's equal for both fan bases. But the Thunder aren't necessarily that super injured team as well, too. They obviously have more depth to be able to sustain that type of stuff. But, yeah, maybe it'll work out for them to have a little bit of a closer game. It'll work out for us to have an extra game as well, too. We don't have to wait a full week for basketball. That'll be great, chat. But, yeah, so, anyways, back to this movie. Back to this Tubi original. This will be a Tubi original. Is this more of a mixtape, sort of? Maybe this will be an executive produced. Maybe this is not one where we're directing it. Because Overtime Heat, I want to, I guess we're not cinematography. I don't get behind the camera. But I'm in the director's chair, chat. I'm calling the shots. Me and Sam, we're making the moves. I don't know if we're telling Rosario Dawson what to do. But at least if we have a suggestion in terms of the vision of the movie. Where at least you're going to try to, portray that vision. But this might be, again, Overtime Heat, a little successful. We get to move in an executive producing role. And we get to take a little bit of a swing with this next. Oh, so again, we got Sam actually acting now as well, too, in this movie. We're casting Sam as himself. But we don't want to go necessarily the horror route. So I was, again, thinking Mad Scientist movies. And I don't know why I couldn't think of this right away, chat. It was sitting right in front of us. It feels like maybe the most obvious version of because, again, maybe what I was the lanes I guess we were trying to think of was, again, Sam, mad scientist, trying to find a remedy for Tatum as an injured player. But, chat, if we're going mad scientist, I think the lane is Sam maybe having to go back in time to prevent Jason Tatum from getting hurt. That might be the move. So I'm thinking maybe a little Back to the Future-y. I don't know if Sam's like a Doc Brown character, so, you know, obviously a sort of fictitious version of it. So maybe it's not, you know, maybe the character is not named Sam. Maybe the character is not named Jason Tatum as well, too. Maybe Jason Tatum is playing a fictitious version of himself as well. But maybe sort of a Doc Brown type character. So what's a way just to type this out efficiently, chat? We're definitely copying Back to the Future, which, again, copying mad scientist movies. I don't know if we just go mad scientist movies, that's like the first one you think of, but it's definitely, you know, top of our list. That's for sure. Again, maybe more the funner vein that we want to go for instead of some of the horror elements for it. But we need a plot to a movie. Chat, this is gonna be crazy. About do we go mad scientist? Because last time we did mad scientist, it again went with the horror route. So I don't know if like mad is the for a movie. Oh, okay. I don't know if we need to get too worried about the grammar here, chat. But if it's gonna go the mad scientist, I don't know if it's gonna continue to try to trend darker elements. So maybe like crazy scientist. I guess, you know, we're not gonna workshop the grammar again to get the perfect plot, but I guess if it goes disastrously, if it's if it's not in line with our vision, chat, you know, we got to make sure our we got to make sure the creativeness is still accurate. But a movie about a mad scientist, again, this is Sam in this role, so I guess we need a mad scientist named Sam who needs to go back in time to prevent an NBA player injury in the form of Back to the Future. So again, it feels like, you know, I don't know if it's just the copy and pasteness of our question as well too. You know, feel like we have to ask a good question, chat, to get a good answer. Hey yo, but who? This needs to go back in time to prevent. Well, I feel like our typing, live streaming skills will get better as time goes, chat. But needs to go back in time to prevent a. Oh, earbud unplug. Okay, wait, timeout, chat. Hey, yo. We're almost back. Pacers 59-72. So they were down by 20 there. It's like, a little push. I feel like maybe that's just the franticness of like, okay, we can't get embarrassed tonight. I don't know if a win is what they're obviously they're obviously not going out with like we need to get into the finals obviously tonight. But we'll see here. Fourth quarter is still right around the corner. We could do a Halliburton stat check. He could go crazy maybe just to balance even back out his, you know, to a normal performance as well. To prevent a star basketball player from see if we go devastating injury. This is going to sound like another horror movie, chat. I guess we could just keep it simple. A season-ending injury in the style of Back to the Future. In the style of Back to the Future and the fact that this movie is going to make $1 billion at the box office. We need a season-ending injury? Wait, why is that not necessary, chat? I feel like that's different. Oh, season-ending injury. I feel like that's totally different than just, you know, obviously a injury. To prevent a star basketball player from a season-ending injury in the style of Back to the Future, chat. And then Sam's going to say it at some point in the movie. And it's like, Tatum's hurt? We got to go back to the future. So, here we go. Let's see what we get. Probably the same thing that we just asked for. But Back to the Future style movie plot featuring Matt Snyder. So, Full Court Flashback is the name of this movie. Not bad, chat. Not bad. When a mad scientist discovers his favorite basketball team's dynasty was destroyed by one star player's injury. We forgot that the computer listens to us, chat, so maybe it's going to give us extra elements as well, too. He builds a time-traveling, sneaker-powered hover van and goes back to 1997 to change history. Oh, chat, 97. Was there any season-ending injuries for the NBA 97? I guess, again, this is a Tatum injury, but this could be Tatum-inspired, and now we're paying homage to the 90s. We're not even remaking a 90s movie. We're paying homage to events in the 90s. Pacers down 12. Yeah. Here we go, chat. Now the reverse jinx of the Pacers. As we spill our energy drink all over our shirt. I spilled it on my shirt before we started, but I thought it had dried before we fired up so nobody would notice. But hey, yo, chat. There we go. Back again. More energy drink spots on the shirt. But, yeah, it goes back to 1997 to change that, only to find out fade, fashion, and fast breaks don't play fair. Whoa, what does that mean, chat? What does that mean? ChatGPT, honestly, just, again, Hollywood, don't be... Use it correctly. But some of the taglines are not bad. I feel like maybe we just put in the contract ChatGPT tagline generator. It would really help at least. That alone could boost Hollywood back in a major way, chat. I don't think that can necessarily be underrated, how important that is for the marketing and the selling of a movie. But, yeah, to find out that not only fate and fashion. So, I mean, of course, Sam's going to be involved in it. It's going to be a fashion chat. Basically, so I mean, obviously we're casting. Oh, we're casting ASAP Rocky. Obviously, it's just going to be designer brands all the way around. But Dr. Newt Flax. So maybe we call it a flax back. I don't know, chat. But so this is the plot summary. Okay, Dr. Newt Flax, an eccentric but brilliant quantum physicist, obsessed with basketball and retro sneaker culture, spends his nights ranting about the fall. The moment when college basketball phenom Trey Skywalker Miles suffered a freak knee injury in 1997, ending what would have been a legendary career and derailing Newt's favorite team, the Metro City Flyers, chat. The Metro City Flyers. So are the Metro City Flyers going to suspiciously have like a 4-leaf clover as their logo, chat? Maybe. Why are the Metro Leafs Flyers wearing green and white? But one night, after an experimental sneaker recharging quantum capacitator explodes in his lab, Newt realizes he can manipulate time by channeling energy through a pair of vintage Air Skywalkers, Trey's signature kicks. He modifies his beat-up 1984 hover van, which runs on Gatorade and VHS tapes, into a time-traveling machine. He sets off for 1997 to prevent Trey's injury. Also, like, what year do we have to set this movie into as well? Because that's gonna be another age poorly thing where it's like Doc Newt gets time traveling and then goes back to prevent Trey Skywalker's injury. But again, his kicks, so maybe it's like the purpose of his kicks were to help Trey's career in the future. But chat, but time travel is never a layup. Okay, intense stuff here. But in 1997, Newt befriends a young, cocky Trey. So he's back in the future. At this point, we've made it back in time. So a young Trey Miles at Metro State University. He befriends a young Trey Miles at Metro State. To prevent the injury, he poses as an eccentric European biometrics coach, helping Trey change his movement pattern and gear his. Wait, are we messing with the microphone volume here, chat? Sorry, I just realized I was messing with the knob. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Are we too loud? Too quiet? Okay, wait. Oh, there we go, chat. Let's go like right in there somewhere. So Newt befriends a young. Now I have to go back to the other page here. Helping Trey change his injury. His movement pattern gear. The more he interferes, the more things go sideways. Trey's attitude changes, his performance drops, and he's at risk of being benched entirely. Okay, chat. So this is interesting in the comparison of a Back to the Future style movie because again, Marty McFly goes to Doc Brown with the need to change something. This is more of a Doc Brown himself goes because again, you think they go back to the future, they can't really interact with themselves in the same way, but this time he's going back with the purpose to interact. And I guess they are interacting with the past in the fact that they have to change some events, but not interacting with supposedly the main character versions of themselves. Like again, like Trey Miles feels like the Marty McFly of this movie in a way because it's like the college-aged, up-and-coming young star that gets hurt. We're spending most of the time in the movie with that version of Trey Miles. Maybe there's like an older version at some point that we'll have to see. But I guess you guys have probably already read ahead to see what happens. But the more he interferes, the more things go sideways. Trey's attitude changes, his performance risk of being or never becoming a star. So meanwhile, the coach's rival school, Coach Grizzle, suspects Newt is up to something and hires a paranoid school janitor turned security specialist, Doug, to spy on him. Worse yet, Newt attempts at fixing the past creates ripples. In May 2025, Metro City is being wiped off the map, literally. To set things right, Newt has to fix Trey's ego and his game, keep his hover van out of the hands of Coach Grizzle. So Coach Grizzle is the Butch, I guess, in this this movie. Is that his name, chat? His name's Butch, right? Or Buster or something? What's the name of the villain in that movie? Billy? I forget. But he needs to, keep the fans out of the hand of Coach Grizzle, survive 1990s gym class, Y2K conspiracies, and the wrath of Trey's fashion-obsessed manager girlfriend. Okay, we got to make sure ChatGPT doesn't create a problematic character here, chat. But return to the future. Oh, and he must return to the future before he permanently erases himself from the basketball timeline. Whoa, chat. So a lot at stake for our guy, Coach Newt. The climactic scene? Oh, chat, is this going to be a spoiler alert? Let me read ahead. Is there any spoilers in this? I guess, well, what are the spoilers? Everything turns out okay, I guess? This is not a thriller in the lane of Overtime Heat, where we don't know who makes it out alive at the end of that movie quite yet. We still don't even really know that. We kind of have to get into the acting. And, if Scoot feels like a guy that we can build a franchise, because, Rosario Dawson, we can build a franchise around. But I think she's kind of signing up for one. She didn't expect to sign on to the Celeste Laurent for like 6 movies. She was just like, okay, we're one movie, get a star, get an Oscar, and then we'll be good to go. I guess then if we make a remake, though, it becomes interesting. I guess if Scoot is the one, I guess somebody dies. So if Celeste Laurent is the one that dies, then obviously, we're building the franchise around Scoot. But if Scoot dies at the end of the movie, then maybe it's just a one-off movie. Who knows? Oh, there's no Overtime Heat 2, apparently. But, okay, climactic scene. Trey is about to take the same fateful leap in the regional championship game. Newt, wearing the quantum sneakers himself, sprints across the court during a timeout to warn him. Only to get tackled by Doug. In a slow-motion sequence, Newt shouts out a key movement cue to Trey midair. Trey lands safely, scores at the buzzer, and history is rewritten. Okay, chat, that's a little, I don't know if that is a great way to, we'd have to rewrite the ending. What else does it say? Okay, wait, ending? Here we go. Back in 2025, Newt returns to find a very different world. Metro City is thriving, basketball is bigger than ever, and Trey is now a retired legend who has named his sports tech company. Oh, Knicks up by 20, chat, timeout. Now we're getting Precious Achiuwa minutes. The and one over TJ McConnell. I just heard some fans cheer, so I was like, wait a second, it better not be the Pacers storming back. But, yeah, Knicks, as the third quarter, 2.5 minutes left here, winds down, is looking good. Oh, chat, this is a Melo Paul George historic game. Pluto TV, Carmelo Anthony, let's go, chat. Let's go. You guys didn't know that today was supposed to be Carmelo Anthony Day on the live stream, but let's go. And Paul George Pacers Day? I mean, chat, the finals is going to be Paul George finals, so it's only fair that we get a legendary Paul George game in the history of the, just the teams in general. Lance Stevenson, David West. David West was fun, chat. Yeah. And I mean, Melo, chat. We got to give Melo a break all the time. We got Melo with Pablo Prigioni, Raymond Felton. I mean, that alone, that's his backcourt. His backcourt's Pablo Prigioni and Raymond Felton. And we were like, why is Melo not as good as LeBron? Well, he's got Pablo Prigioni on his team. He's got Tyson Chandler out there. I mean, Iman Shumpert played with both LeBron and Melo. And guess what? I think they lost finals both times. Losing playoff series with Iman. No, shout out Iman Shumpert. Great player. I think they did win the finals with Iman Shumpert. DeLon Wright in transition. Oh, DeLon Wright is like 0 for 7 in this series in transition layups. That's not going to be helpful in the finals. That's going to be one of those, like, oh, you could have cut it to 12 there and maybe made it interesting, but you just missed the layup. Thunder go back down the other end and hit a 3. Now it's 17-point game or wherever. But, wait a second. So, Newt is a retired legend who named his sports tech company after Newt. But as Newt kicks back to watch the Flyers' new dynasty, a mysterious ripple appears in the air. A flying basketball drone delivers a cryptic message. Coach Grizzle is back! And this time he's in 1984. We didn't even know what that means. So, wow, chap. I guess, what was this called? Full Court Flashback 2 is a full-on Newt versus Grizzle face-off. Hey, yo, chat. Whoa. That's creepy. But this is not bad. This is not bad. The climactic scene, obviously the way I think he prevents the injury is a little weak. But as a start to finish story, this is a good pace. Obviously, get some good jokes in here. And we will be set to go, chat. And it's going to rely on the strength of our cast, which is... So, Sam is basically Coach Newt. And Jason Tatum is Trey Miles, I guess, in this. And we only saw Coach Grizzle and Doug, as well, too, as supporting characters. So we're going to need a couple of more supporting characters, potentially. But let's see if we can... Let's get one more attempt at that climactic scene. Is there another version? Chat, we're just giving you a little behind the scenes of how Hollywood's going to work going forward. They won't show you how the real work is done, but we will let you behind the curtain and show you how Tubi is getting ahead of the game right now. Is there another version of the climactic? Whoa, chat, ayo. Climactic scene where he prevents the injury. Because what's he gonna yell? He's gonna yell a cue at him. I mean, again, do we need this to be like a foolproof plot? It just needs to be a fun time, and then, you know, as long as like the music builds really good there, and then Adam Sandler's like yelling out a cue to Jason Tatum, it's gonna be fine. But you know, this is the beginning of Sam's iconic Adam Sandler Tubi-esque career. Adam Sandler, Netflix, Sam, and Tubi. It'll be a competition for, you know, who's getting the views. But where Newt prevents the injury. Let's see. I guess in game, obviously, you know, actually, is it he preventing it moment of, or does he set him up for success before? And then we get to the moment, and it's like, will it work? Will it work? Won't he? He like crumples to the floor. We like think he's injured. Then he like gets up. He like, well, okay, I'm okay. And then it, you know, whatever. But is there another version of the climax scene where Newt prevents the injury? Chat. Let's see. Is ChatGPT smart enough to let us know what it would say without the S at the end there? Okay, alternate climax. It's called the pivot, I guess. In oh, chat, this is basically going to give us dialogue here. The 1997 regional championship, sold out gym, seconds on the clock, same moment in history when Trey was destined to blow out his knee on the high flying dunk. Okay, so we're really committing to that storyline. Newt, after a series of failed interventions and close calls, finally understands the injury wasn't just about Trey's technique, it was about his ego. So maybe it was listening to us about Adam Sandler, because this does feel a little Adam Sandler. It's just like a, I guess, you know, do those movies have like a moral of the story? But I guess there's more like a feel-good turn at some point. Like maybe like I'm trying to remember, I guess we have to go back and watch some more Adam Sandler movies, chat. But I'm sure, like in Waterboy, is there like a coach that like has like a nice, I guess the mom, maybe a couple times it's the mom. In Hubie Halloween, the mom actually is just straight up the bad guy and just dies at the end, so she didn't even get the turn. But Trey always, oh, chat, see that is not bad. That's like, okay, that's like a real basketball sort of thing. That's like a John Morant, Anthony Edwards type of storyline. Oh, ChatGPT, well done on the second try. Okay, it's all about his ego. Trey always went for the flashy dunk to impress the scouts. When Newt failed to teach him was humility and team play, or just, you know, layups, proper layup technique. But maybe, yeah, there's like that's like, there's some real basketball implications there, more so than Newt just being like, land with the right, and then Trey lands with the right. That's like a tennis match, chat, and then, you know, that's not even legal. But during a timeout, Newt can't reach Trey on the bench. He's surrounded by reporters, teammates, and a cheer squad. Reporters during the timeout, I guess is this 97 or 25? Because I feel like they talk about how we don't have any more access to the players in the locker rooms. They're just like, we'll just get access to them during the games. Hey, yo, chat. Just every quarter, now all of a sudden we're just talking to Julius Randle's third quarter intermission. Is what it is. But Pacers, oh, there's a 3. Okay, 15 points, fourth quarter. It really just depends on how much the Knicks sweat right now. Because, oh yeah, 15 points third quarter. You got fourth quarter lead. You got to close that out. And they feel pretty confident tonight as well, too. But a Ben Shepherd 3, you never know if that gets him on a roll. So, yeah, surrounded by reporters and a cheer squad. But he catches Trey's eye, and with a desperate look, he slowly mimics the subtle pivot move he taught him in private training sessions. The move that could have replaced the risky dunk. A safer, smarter path. So instead of a dunk, he goes for a jump shot, and this is how the NBA moves. So really, we're rewriting history as Trey as the sort of the Steph Curry of the NBA. He becomes the guy that it prioritizes the below the rim game instead of the, I guess like dunks were the priority, but prioritize the not necessarily just the vagueness of basketball, but the ball is inbounded. Trey dribbles through the defenders. Crowd is roaring. Eyes locked on the rim. Time slows. He plants the foot in the exact moment in the original timeline he would have shredded his knee. So it'd be in this one he like plants his foot and then just tears his Achilles. So this is where the Tatum thing goes. This would be like the Avengers Endgame version of it. And then in part 2, Sam has to like figure out now how to correct the Achilles injury. So Knicks still up 15. I guess they both hit a basket there at the end, but McBride has a chance to close the quarter here as the shot and game clock wind down, chat. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's Bridges. Gonna get the last look, falling away, the little midi. Every time, chat. He gets to his spot, a 17-point lead. Oh, DeLon Wright gets the foul, three-quarter court. Benedict Mathurin just went for the shot attempt, three-quarter court, and got the hook on DeLon Wright. Hopefully they didn't actually call that. Did they call traveling? Just don't call anything. We don't need to play with 0.2 seconds left at the end of the third quarter, down 17. Just get to the fourth. There's not even going. The problem is, the problem is when they call a play that's not going to be a play. Like, I guess technically you can get a shot off with 0.3 seconds left, but I feel like if they ever put like 0.2 or whatever back on the clock, it's like, Brett, we can't do anything. There's just no reason. Just let the quarter go, let the game end. There's literally nothing that can happen. So, yeah, I don't know what are they reviewing? Is this Zach Zarba, chat? This has got Zach Zarba written all over it. Man loves the monitor. It was Ayo. But while they review that gives us time to cook back up full court flashback. So, but this time he doesn't. Instead, he doesn't shred his knee, I guess, when he plants the pivot foot. Instead, he pulls off a smooth spin pivot, drawing both defenders, and dishes a no-look pass to his teammate Rico. Hey, yo, chat, we got another supporting character who sinks the game-winning three. This thing is, the microphone is locked in today. Hey, yo. Aftermath. Trey jogs back, healthy, arms raised, smiling bigger than he ever did in original history. He finds Newton in the crowd. They don't say a word. They just share a small, knowing nod. In the stands, Scout scribbles notes. Unselfish, smart floor general number. That's a great shit. This is great. That's a perfect way to end this. This is the best Tubi movie we have yet. Sam's going to win an Oscar. Hey, yo, chat. And the Scout can be a potential supporting character as well, too. So we need a cast. We've got our movie, full court flashback. Maybe some titles. Would you like a follow-up on how this change affects the future? Or maybe a darker timeline on what goes wrong instead? No, I like the fact of... I guess we could potentially mix up the alternate ending, but that felt a little bit more post-credit scene-ish, where they get the note that says Coach Grizzle is back, so we can kind of... we can tweak that however we want, Chad. If we want to make this a one-off, if we want to set us... Like, that kind of definitely sets us up for a sequel. So I guess in the... See, if we're going in the mode of Back to the Future ends kind of that vague. I don't know if they had the knowledge of they were going to be doing a second one right at that point, but it does set themselves up for that. So I don't know if that is what we're going for in the Back to the Future inspiration, but that doesn't seem too important to try to nail down for this. Wait, why this version works? Emotionally mature, clever over chaotic. Newt wins not by chaos, but by coaching and heart. So this would have been another great like Gene Hackman role. We need to get Sam to watch a lot of tape of Gene Hackman in Hoosiers, Coach Carter, and who's another great coach, Chad? Oh, I guess Gene Hackman in The Replacements as well too. So those three guys, but really two guys, but Gene Hackman playing two separate characters there. Would you like okay, so no follow-up on the future, but we do want let's go more title options. Just to see real quick. Even though full court flashback not bad, but flashback is a little rough. Flashback's a little sexy, chat. So I don't know if we're going for that in this move. Flashing back it usually works, but more here we go. Title options. Let's see what we get. Something are we going to get a choose your own path? Basketball time travel matchups. Okay, yeah, we're 80s and 90s style. Backcourt to the future. So that's like an Amazon Prime parody version of the movie. I think we're actually trying. Again, we're to be original. We're trying to make at least a serious ripoff. We're not trying to just. Future might be out, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. Maybe Backcourt to the Future will be the parody of our movie. Who knows? Timeout. Full court pressure, slam time, the shot clock paradox, fast break to yesterday, hang time machine, Carano crossover, airtime travelers, in hoops of time. So no, Chad, I think full court flashback is the way to go. Hey, yo, full court flashback. Okay, so, do we have other ones here? How many more do we have? Oh, they give us a lot of options. More serious or dramatic tones. The pivot point, the break that never happened, rewrite the court, jump pass, echoes of the game. That's just a title. I didn't really have anything to do with what we're talking about. Sneakers in space time. So this is cool and funky sci-fi hybrid. Quantum crossover. Chad, we can't have quantum in the name because that's immediately going to bomb. People are still scarred from Quantum Mania, I think. Renegade rebound. The gravity jam. Halftime heroes. Time on the line. Not terrible, but a little Disney movie-ish. Fast break frequency as well. So, and not really cooking with the extra titles as well. So I think full court flashback is going to be the way to go. So we need a cast. We need a cast. But we know that Sam is going to be Coach Newt, and we know that Jason Tatum is going to be Trey Miles. So we need a cast of supporting characters, or yeah, we need a list more so. We don't need a cast. We'll cast next. We need a list of supporting characters. Here we go. So this will be the people in the movie, not necessarily the people playing the movie. Dr. Doris Vega, Newt's. Oh, chat. Doris Vega. Hey, yo, chat. Maybe do we want Sam's input on who's gonna play Doris Vega, or maybe we don't get him in trouble. We'll just leave him. We'll just be like, hey, it's work, chat. Making a movie. Rico Ice Simmons. So this is Rico, Trey's teammate, underrated shooter. Oh wait, so Doris Vega. What would it say about Doris Vega? And actually, what's going on in the fourth quarter here? Knicks right away. Land 19-point game. It's New York State, chat. MSG. Good day for the MSG fans. Let's go. Spike Lee got himself a win. So, either way. Doris Vega. Wait, are we going, chat? Are we still live? Are we out of memory? Battery? Oh, Wi-Fi problems. Hey, yo. Are we good to go? What's going on here, chat? Slow, very, very slow speed. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me get something switched around here real quick. We might just have to power through in typical power through fashion. We need to check the tapes and see if when it cuts like that, if we're still live or not. If it still goes into the files afterwards. Okay, chat. If there was just like a weird cut there, weird little Wi-Fi issue, we went into the red for a second, so I don't know if we were still live there for a second. But anyways, we're back. So depending on what we missed there, we got a list of supporting characters for our movie, Full Court Flashback, starring Sam and Jason Tatum. So the supporting characters in the movie, not necessarily who's going to be casting them, are 75 to 92, chat. We're keeping an eye. Dr. Doris Vega, a grounded, brilliant physicist who never left Newt's lab after his experiments got... Oh, who left Newt's... Oh, okay, chat, I can't read. Take two. A grounded, brilliant physicist who left Newt's lab after his experiments got too unstable. She still helps him from afar by hacking into databases or guiding him over a primitive cell phone in 1997. Dry, grounded, and practical. She's the Doc Brown meets Ripley figure. Oh, that's kind of a fun combination, chat. Doc Brown and Ripley. Hey, yo. Rico Ice Simmons, Trey's teammate, an underdog guard who gets overshadowed by Trey's flash. He's a loyal friend, but constantly benched or ignored. Chat, 1997, they didn't think that we could play all 5 of the best players together, so it's like, whoa, the court's only big enough for 1 point guard. Okay, wait, Jarris Walker is in the game, so yeah, this might actually be over. Is Jarris Walker going to let the Knicks make a comeback here? The problem is, like, the Knicks have 7 players, so Towns just has to keep playing. So Towns might just erupt and just bring him back when they put the bench guys in. But it's going to be Mathurin versus Towns, and Mathurin... Oh, I guess Mathurin bringing it back there a little bit. Okay, Towns is... Tibbs kind of staring at the score, like, what's happening? It's still 16. Mathurin 5 for 8 tonight, Chad. 9 for 9 from the free throw line. A pro Mathurin pod. You won't hear us say bad thing about Mathurin, at least not yet. So Rico I. Simmons also comic relief with the big heart and hidden clutch G. Hey, yo, Chad. Oh, he's the one who hits the game winner thanks to Trey's pass. Oh. Again, we got the alert. Or who knows what that was. The computer's just making alert noises right now. I don't know what's going on. It could be the mic as well too. But Mona Day, chat, Trey's girlfriend and image manager. So I was gonna say she runs like his TikTok account, but this is 1997, so not quite yet. His blog, his email newsletter, maybe she has a newsletter. Ambitious, fashion forward, and always. So she works for like some magazines, I guess, just as manager in general, but always pushing Trey toward endorsement deals and highlight plays. She's not a villain, just caught up in the fame machine, but her obsession with his image might be pushing him toward the injury path. Whoa. Eventually learns to respect Trey's new maturity. Doug Tuggles, suspicious janitor termed anti-time enforcer. Whoa. Think a cross between Dwight Schrute and Biff. That's his name, chat. Biff from Back to the Future, too. Discovers Newt snooping around and becomes convinced he's a temporal spy. So somehow this random... we're somehow already thinking of the Rewatchables episode of our Tubi movie while we're doing... Somehow... This random space janitor just knows what time travel is and temporal, and just would be able to send out a temporal spy, but way where it's like instead of trying to solve the problems, like let's leave the Easter eggs where now let's like actually have like 7 or 8 on purpose unanswerable questions to be discussed. Like how does Doug Tuggles know what temporal spying is? Maybe that gets answered in flashback. Full court flashback too, when maybe he has to recruit Doug to help stop Coach Grizzle in flashbacks. Chat, I mean the franchise is already building itself. Coach Wyatt Bulldog Banks, old school head coach, gruff, no nonsense, stuck in 1980s coaching style, doesn't trust newfangled biometrics or Euro drills. Chat, this is perfect. He doesn't like the Euro step, so he might be pro pivot step. To be honest, eventually realizes Newt's method saved his star player and makes peace with the innovation. Okay, young Newt, age 15, Newt runs into his awkward team self, obsessed with sneakers and VHS tapes. Hey, yo, chat. Offers key knowledge about 1997 culture and helps Newt navigate campus life. Oh, so he just straight up interacts with a moment where Newt gives himself younger advice he wishes he'd heard growing up. So that another time travel sort of sciencey thing. But again, if you start, you got to toe the line of like, if we're committing to the movie making sense scientifically, we can't just pick and choose where that is. We have to just be like, okay, it's a fun movie or it's a science movie, and it'll be a fun movie, not a science movie. So he can interact with his younger self in this movie. But Coach Grizzle as well too, rival coach, time tampering antagonist, sequel setup, head coach at the rival school, Stonebridge Tech. Oh, a tech school is the rival school, chat? Hey, yo, just a bunch of farmers over there. Competitive to be... What kind of tech school, chat? Competitive to a dangerous degree. Begins to suspect Newt is changing something and starts investigating. Post-credit reveal, he's experimenting on his own chrono playbook as well. Would you like character arcs, casting ideas, or supporting... Yeah, we want casting ideas, chat. Casting ideas. Because, again, hopefully this is just casting ideas for... Well, it might give us some casting suggestions for Coach Newt and Trey, but those are already set. Again, Jason Tatum is Trey. So, and I guess Jason Tatum could probably still play... Could Jason Tatum play college star, chat, essentially? He's still only 26, but maybe he has to shave the beard. He has bulked up a little bit as well, too, since he's in the league, so he's got a little extra muscle maybe than a college star would have at that point. He's a little skinnier back in the day. But, yeah, we want casting ideas for the supporting role. So who's in the movie next to Sam? Sam just throwing heat in an Oscar-level starting point. Oh, it wants Bill Hader as the mad scientist hero. Okay, so Sam is going to be auditioning against Bill Hader, Jason Sudeikis, or Jim Carrey. Ben Schwartz, younger dude, if you want to skew younger and keep it wild energy. Chat, so a very interesting common thread between these 4 actors, I wonder that if ChatGPT was thinking about when it cooked up this list. But yeah, Hader actually, if we weren't casting Sam, Hader would be a fun addition in this role. I think Jim Carrey obviously, and I mean Sudeikis as well too, but Hader could he have a little, I guess he's not really Robin Williams but I do think that maybe there is a Robin, and he's started with the TV shows as well too. So I mean, Robin Williams had Mork and Mindy, but with Barry, like I do think there is a Bill Hader career where he is able to walk both lines. I mean he's already walking it as well too. Again, like we're saying, but where he's able to sort of accomplish both the family movie and the trying to attempt the dramatic roles as well too. Because that's one of the reasons why as a comedic actor Robin Williams is just so brilliant. It's like those dramatic roles almost help improve the brilliance of his comedic performances, and they just help you understand as well too just his depth as a person, the amount of layers that he was able to. I mean, again, unfortunately, he was obviously, a complicated person. Rest in peace. But the layers he was able to tap into from an acting standpoint. He won an Oscar, right, for Best Supporting for Good Will Hunting, so he could. And he gravitated to. It's always funny to me as well, like the comedian just gravitating toward all of sort of the thrillery type role. Like it's like, okay, Robin Williams, you're a comedian, but then you want to do movies, you just do a thriller, so like all these thrillers. But again, it's a great actor as well too. So it's not like it didn't make sense. But Hader has that. Obviously, Barry is a little bit more darker than like an SNL sketch, but I could, and he's in It as well too. We haven't really seen the It movies. It is what it is, chat. But he's in those movies, which are just more like straight up horror. But he could do like a horror. I guess, watching a trailer for Ballerina, chat. Like I think Hader, like, and with Barry too, he could almost go into a little bit of action stuff as well. I think. I don't know if he's a full Keanu Reeves, but I do think that there is a little action. Like maybe, again, like Eddie Murphy, Chris Tucker is the comedy action star. That's a big bar as well too to cross Ice Cube, but. I think he could get into that action comedy role as well too, but he's a very versatile actor in that way. So that would be a fun pick for Dr. Newt as well too, Chad. I think of these 4, he's definitely my favorite. So Bill, at least favorite for this role. Bill Hader versus Sam, I guess, in the audition, just to see who will make Sam Reed against Bill Hader, just to help level up his game as well too. We're not necessarily gunning for the high Rotten Tomatoes score, but we still want we still want memorable performances, fun performances, people locked in, having a good time. The set to be a fun vibe. So Hader can he can be the Jokic in the conference semifinals for Sam, for like the early matchup that sets him in the right direction as we win the championship with full court flashback. But speaking of Jarris Walker, Chad, he checks in 6 points in 6 minutes. Indiana down 15. I mean, there's 8 minutes left in the game. I do think it's a little weird that do they go to some of their starters? Like, I guess Jarris Walker is just kind of like and I guess 3-1 into the series as well too. A dramatic game like this, Rick Carlisle is gonna maybe experiment a little bit and just see as well too, because maybe it's not him waving the white flag. And I mean, he was ready to play as well. Maybe Rick Carlisle's like, what was I thinking? I mean, you're about to make the finals, so you're not necessarily like, oh no, I've coached this team wrong. But this is like and I guess especially against the Thunder, you're going to need to see what all of your matchup opportunities are as well too, because I mean that's a team that has a ton of those as well. But let's take actually another quick break, chat, as we unveil the rest of the cast for full court flashback. Rest of the fourth quarter as well too. Maybe the Pacers make it interesting here. We'll see. 7 minutes left. Don't go anywhere. Okay, chat, our attention has shifted from the current playoff game to mostly, outside of the movie, cooking up this Tui original, it is focused from the current playoff game that we got here to the historic game, which again, Carmelo Anthony is just going to capture our attention anyways. But also, chat, I mean, if Carmelo Anthony wasn't enough, hey, yo, pause. I forgot that the Knicks had Chris Copeland on the team at this time. I mean, do you guys remember Chris Copeland? Hey, yo, shout out to Chris Copeland. I mean, I feel like, why would you guys know about Chris Copeland? But I don't know if you guys remember. Again, we've talked about some of our old 2K days in the past. Of course, I mean, who doesn't sit back and reminisce about their old 2K days, chat? But with some of when it started to become more of like an online focused game, and there was always an online element to the game with just the saving and the memory and all this stuff, obviously. But when it really started to become online with what you could access in the game, I remember there was a while there for the park guys. If you wanted to play with the blacktop guys, you had to have VC to unlock the better players. So I think in the newer version of the game, it just goes back to like where you can play with anybody, which is just like obviously chat. But I remember you used to have either VC or you had to get online or something, but you could only play with like the bench guys, like the 60s and 70s overall, I remember. So Chris Copeland was one of the guys that you had access to, and for some reason I guess I don't know how many guys I had to play with to figure out. Hey, yo, pause. I don't know how many different combinations of lineups that I had to have to figure out that Chris Copeland was a guy that we had good timing with on the jump shooting form, but it somehow happened, chat, and Chris Copeland became one of the main players that we just stuck with for a while. It probably honestly was because we were looking to play with Carmelo on the Knicks, because Chris Copeland was on the Knicks in the version of the game. So because I think we have a 2K 12, 13, or 14. We have one of those years, not all of them, but one of those years in that stretch, and we probably were going to play with Melo on the Knicks. And Chris Copeland, I guess we could see how many years even Chris Copeland, because maybe Chris Copeland was on the Pacers as well too. We were probably also going to play with Paul George, because I think sneaky, the 2K I might have here, this might be a good way to track it down as well too. I guess, it might be, I don't know if we have a long enough time to take that break, but that maybe tomorrow I'll have to try to dig that up somehow and do the research on that. But, so yeah, Chris Copeland was on the Knicks for 1 year, and then in this Pacers series, they're like, well, we got to have him after watching that. Sixth in Rookie of the Year voting, chat, 8 points a game, you forget. 40% for those first 2 seasons, then something happened, just 31%, 27%. What do you do, chat? I guess he did get into the league a little bit older. So, college at Colorado, I don't know, did he have a pro run somewhere else and then get elevated up? So, playoffs, chat, 9 games played for New York, 4 points a game, 48% from 3. So his totals in the playoffs that year, 11 for 23. He's 17 for 40 in his playoff career in general. How old is Chris Copeland now, chat? Oh, 41. Probably past his prime, unfortunately. The Spurs can't bring back Chris Copeland for one more title run. That's impossible. Oh, and I just double-checked, chat. I was like, okay, we did unmute the mic this time right out of the break. Great. We are cooking. But yeah, Chris Copeland was a stud 60 overall, chat, in 2K. But yeah, I think Paul George was one of the players that, because maybe if the player just like straight up made an all-star or something, it was just locked or something weird like that. I'd have to fire the game back up, and that would even be do I even have the console? I know I probably still have the game, but I don't even know if I have the console to access the game anymore. But it might have been whatever 2K was like this season, or maybe because he was an all-star third team All-NBA this season. But this 11-12 season, so this would have been 2K10. So that would actually have been after the 10-11 season. So 2K12 would have been after the 11-12 season, right? No, that would have been 2K13 because it would have been released before. So chat, trying to remember the 2K history to the NBA season history. But there was a season there where you could access Paul George as well too, even though he wasn't. Even though it's like he should have been a locked player, you could have gotten him on the season before, where it's like, oh, he's unlocked. I'm playing with Paul George. So his overall was a little bit lower. Maybe I'm not remembering. Maybe we unlocked Paul George just randomly. I don't remember. But, yeah, it didn't matter, Chad. I was putting Chris Copeland in the team anyways. He was starting in the lineup. So, shout out. He's in this legendary game. I don't even know what the score is. I don't even know what game this is. What game did Chris Copeland... Was there a Chris Copeland game that he had this year in the playoffs? Let's see. In the series against the Pacers... Oh, he was 13 in Game 6. Game 5. 4 for 6 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3. Hey, yo, check. Chris Copeland cooking in this one. And they won 85-75. Is this game 6? The closed caption is like perfect over the scorecard, chat. We'll see if it goes away. What's it say? Oh, quick flash. Nothing on the side, chat. We need more info. Oh, East semis. Game number... Oh, 3-2. Yeah, chat. They lead 3-2. So it is game 6. So this is not the 13-point Chris Copeland game. Maybe that's why they were subbing him in, chat. Maybe that's why he had an aura when he subbed in. He was off of the 13-point game as well. Too. Melo in this game was 28 points, 12 for 28 from the field. Chat, again, just to mention, is Amari Stoudemire off the bench with 6 points. Jason Kidd off the bench with 5 points. Steve Novak. The 4 best players on this team, honestly, outside of Melo, were the guys off the bench, just unfortunately way past the premises. I mean, in classic fashion, Kenyon Martin, Amari Stoudemire, Jason Kidd, and Steve Novak, and Marcus Camby, and Quentin Richardson, chat. Their bench of wash guys was stacked. So Melo is just powering this wash team. Chat, we might honestly do an all-time player ranking this summer just to rank Melo 50 spots too high. And just, I don't know if that'll be the thing that gets traction, but there's just somebody out there needs to have Melo in the top 30 all-time or something crazy. I don't know. But it's ridiculous, chat, the Melo slander. And the more you go back and look at the career, it's like, what? We should have gotten this guy on a real team. Some real players. How did this guy not go to the Heat, chat? Play with LeBron. Hey, yo. Just maybe even, chat, here's a hot take. If Melo goes to the Heat, they also win 2 finals? There you go, chat. LeBron did. See, the thing is, LeBron, of course, ascended to some special. Like, could Melo have gotten to those levels that LeBron got in that game against the Cavs in the Eastern Conference final? Like, LeBron had to, obviously, became LeBron. And, is an all-time great player. So, are we saying Melo's LeBron? No, we're not saying we're putting him that high on the all-time list. But maybe summer 2025 is like Melo retroactive summer. I don't know, like June just becomes I think June maybe celebrated for other things. So July, push it back to July. July becomes Carmelo Anthony research month. We just go back and watch we pick all of the best games from Carmelo Anthony's career and go, see, this guy's a legend. He's amazing. But this was, 30? So wait, the half? It was 34-37? Or is that just where the game was at? I think it's just where it's at right now. I think, okay, it's still a decent ways into the second quarter there in that game. So I guess, this game 6 turns into a nice scoring game. Unfortunately, Indiana wins the game. New York does not apparently finish strong. But Melo with 40 in this game, chat. Melo had 39 points, was 51% from the field. Amari Stoudemire plays 5 minutes in this game. Chris Copeland with 19 minutes is 9 points. He's got J.R. Smith with 15. I mean, J.R. Smith's a nice guy to have on your team, honestly. You can win a final with J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith, maybe even a little underrated in this lineup as well, too. Like we're saying, J.R. Smith might be the second best guy on this team, not even a retroactive, just currently as well, too. I mean, in the moment, that was probably true. And then you got Tyson Chandler, Iman Shumpert, Pablo Prigioni, and Raymond Felton, chat. Raymond Felton, 0 for 7. Pablo Prigioni, 2 for 6. Iman Shumpert cooking, chat. 5 for 6, 19 points. That's why Iman Shumpert's got a pod and not Pablo Prigioni, because Iman Shumpert's got good, and Pablo Prigioni's got good games as well too. But if you go back and look at the stats, you can be like, hey, see, in a game 6, it's not my fault. I was 6 for 10. I did my part. And he even had a better plus minus than Melo in that game. Tyson Chandler with a minus 17. So Kenyon Martin actually was the one guy positively impacting the game for the Knicks, according to the box score. But the balance from the Pacers, chat, just too much, apparently. Paul George with 23, Hibbert with 21, George Hill with 12, David West with 17, Lance Stevenson with 25, 7 for 8 from the free throw line as well, too. DJ Augustine, Tyler Hansborough, Sam Young, and Jan Mahimni. Chat, their bench sucks! Hey, yo! No wonder the Heat got past him in the playoffs, chat. How did that bench take the Heat to 7? Hey, yo, actually, we're pro DJ Augustine here, chat. This is a pro DJ Augustine pod. But I did not know that. I did not remember Tyler Hansborough's pace. I said we definitely remember his North Carolina run much more than his Pacers run. Is what it is. And you remember the bench for the Heat was not necessarily their strong point. That was an early team that was like, oh, this is a little top heavy with the contracts. It turns out Wade, LeBron, and Bosh is a lot to try to pay to have those guys on your team. But of course, it did work out in the long run. So we've entered the under 2-minute mark for the game as well too. The ESPN is going to be way ahead. Yeah, under 90-second mark on ESPN, and it's still an 18-point game. Jarris Walker not able to bring the Pacers back. Switched out onto Brunson in this game. Is there going to be like a you have to put Jarris Walker on Shea type moment in this one? His switchability? Jarris Walker might be good, Chad. Oh, whoa, wait a second. As he takes a one dribble pull up three to his right and just completely airballs it. So you're definitely going to have to try to, streamline the skill set. Make sure you're using him in the right spots. The Chalamet jacket, of course, an absolute winner tonight, Chad. Pat Ewing, like, bomber leather jacket is crazy, Chad. Again, not even a Knicks fan. We'd have to get a Tim Duncan Spurs version of that jacket first, but then that Pat Ewing. Chalamet, can we do some, like, an Adidas jacket, Nike jacket? I got maybe like a Nike windbreaker. That's pretty cool. Chalamet can have my Nike windbreaker, and I can have his Pat Ewing Letterman jacket thingy. Hey, yo, chat. Who knows? But shout out, chat. We'll make no mistake, not the last Carmelo Anthony legacy game that we'll watch on the pod. I guess I don't know if this one's a legacy game, but still a great performance. I'm just glad that they're running a historic game where even though the Knicks maybe lost the playoffs, like Melo's awesome. And, I don't know if they'd be rerunning for the entertainment value, the Carmelo Anthony 2 for 18, the random not great playoff game. But still, it's like, hey, maybe those are more rare than we give him credit for. But Sam Young, chat. Sam Young, 9 minutes in a playoff game? This is not even the guy I'm thinking about. Who am I thinking? I'm thinking about James Young. I'm thinking about the Bill Simmons fist pump guy, who I don't even know would have been in the league at this point. Maybe that would have been his, I guess his rookie season would have been after the LeBron Heat run. Gerald Green, Ben Hansborough. Tyler Hansborough was good enough yet to get his brother, Chaz. The Giannis situation. Orlando Jones and Jeff Ayers on the Heat bench as well, too. So, hey, shout out. Or we got to get back to our movie. We got to get back to Full Court Flashback, the Mad Scientist movie where Sam is trying to go back in time to heal prevent Jason Tatum's Achilles injury, who in this movie is being fictionalized as Trey Miles. So, again, we're casting, the main character is Dr. Newt Flax, the Mad Scientist hero. And it wanted Bill Hader, Jason Sudeikis, Jim Carrey, or Ben Schwartz. Hey, yo! But Bill Hader, definitely fun, like we just said. But this is Sam's movie. Sam is the one that is destined to help Jason Tatum get back and to save the Celtics dynasty. So, unfortunately, as much as Bill Hader is, you can see when we do the read for the part, like it's like a Tony Stark situation. Maybe there's like a situation where it's like, okay, we can see that Bill Hader would obviously be great in this role, but Sam is, the part read for Dr. Newt Flax. It's just like, he was born to play the part, Chad. There's no way we can't cast Sam. So, Trey Skywalker Miles, the star athlete. Again, we know that this is going to be Jason Tatum. We wrote this part with Jason Tatum in mind. Ayo. But for casting ideas, Caleb McLaughlin, a ChatGPT MVP. It's going to cast him in every role, Chad. But RJ Seiler, if we're saying that last name as well, too, he's another one that we've gotten in the past with our ChatGPT cook-ups. So it's probably a lot of these things. Jalen Green again. Ayo, chat. And Algie Smith. Shout out. But none of them better than Jason Tatum for the part. A little tall, for sure. I mean, a 6'9" movie star. Maybe this, speaking of Bill Hader, maybe this a little train wreck vibes for the movie with Bill Hader and LeBron. We got Sam and Jason Tatum. But Trey Miles has the teammate, Rico Ice Simmons, Trey's underdog teammate. So I don't know if this has to be an NBA player, but this could also be an NBA player. Again, with our love for the NBA, chat. And our love for Tubi, I think we have a great ability to be able to cast some of these underrated NBA players in these actor roles. And again, Tatum as the star, maybe a stronger acting player, because that is a pretty, that's a pretty big role for Jason Tatum to play. I don't know if he's necessarily ready there as an actor to play that part. But Rico Ice Simmons, Marquise Brownlee, chat, that might actually be great, because I think Sam is a pretty big fan of his YouTube channel in general. So he might actually, there might actually be some friendship vibes between the two of them as well. They might actually strike up I guess, he's a friend with Tatum, not necessarily Sam, but Dr. Newt's gonna, maybe Marquise Brownlee we cast as Trey Miles here. We brought in Tatum to read, but then it's like Brownlee's going to get the part. Tatum is Rico I. Simmons. We'll keep that in mind. That's kind of fun. Surprise pick. You two start with legit basketball skills and charisma. I know he does play Ultimate Frisbee as well, too. So, yeah, we're going to recast this not only as a, fictional player, but we just recast this with Ultimate Frisbee. Sam goes back in time to save an Ultimate Frisbee star. Honestly, he might, if that part was on the desk versus the basketball star, he might be like, well, the Ultimate Frisbee movie is a little bit more rare. Chat, write it down. Ultimate Frisbee movie. We'll be back. Who's Will Wettengale? We'll be casting him in our Ultimate Frisbee movie. Shout out the Indianapolis Alley Cats, chat. Going for the championship this year. 2025 is our year. Hey, yo, chat. So we want Brownlee, Tyler James Williams, or Jabari Banks as Rico I. Simmons. So Sam, Jason Tatum, and Brownlee we're not spending a lot on the budget either at this point as well, too. I feel like from an actor standpoint, maybe we can really bulk up in the some of the other supporting cast members as well, too. So congratulations to the Knicks, chat. The games goes final. 111-94. Quick stat check. Halliburton, chat. Just a real evening out performance for tonight. Really to reset some of the conversation stuff. 8 points. 6 assists. Still no turnovers, though. So I'm sure that'll be brought up as a pro. Halliburton pointing all this. Obi Toppin with 11. Siakam with 15. Those were the only... Oh, Benedict Mathurin was the lead scorer with 23. But, everybody else in single digits, chat. Is crazy. Again, maybe to get this kind of performance out of the way when you're up 3-1 in a series is not bad either. Again, you got the finals on the way. You're going to want to be on your best behavior against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and still no James Johnson tonight. Chat is a bummer as well too for him. Maybe he didn't have the jersey on. Who knows? But Brunson was brilliant. Towns was brilliant, and like we mentioned, the shot making for Brunson to start the third quarter as well too. Just real star effort stuff, chat. Love to see him always at the post-game interview. I know down 3-2 is not ideal, but at least the series lives on. Josh Hart with 12. Bridges with 12. Not, a great game for Bridges, but still there. I guess there's still levels to go, but still not bad. And then Anunoby didn't even play well tonight, chat, from an offensive standpoint, I guess, either. 3 for 14, and still managed to win pretty comfortably. So not bad, not bad. Again, series is interesting. Still have confidence in Indiana, but am I talking myself into the confidence? Not really. They're going back home. So game 6, I think, is going to be a lot different. Just the vibes in general as well, too. I think maybe... And like I said, you still get a little break in the finals. You're not like, oh, man, now we've... the finals is tomorrow as well. So I don't know. Is Halliburton one of the people that is like... Are they like, we need as much time off as possible? This is not like LeBron and Steph, really taking all the days rest so they can get at this point. But Mona Day, chat, Trey's ambitious girlfriend, back to the movie, and the manager as well too. So we can go Zendaya, Storm Reed, or Dominic Fishback from Swarm, chat. Hey yo, we need to look up Dominic Fishback and see who this is. Obviously it's Zendaya, and Storm Reed, shocker, chat. We follow her on Instagram as well too. I guess what is Swarm? Am I crazy? Oh, chat, she's in Judas and the Black Messiah. Okay, for sure. Pretty well received film at that point. So you would assume that all the performances in the movie as well too were fantastic. What were we looking at? Oh, Swarm, chat. What's from 2023 TV show? 1 season, and is she the lead in this show as well too? Satirical. Black comedy TV miniseries created by Neighbors and Donald Glover. It follows Dre, a young woman whose obsession with a pop star takes a dark turn. The series debuted on Amazon Prime. So is this a dumb question? Does Glover have a Prime contract? Because didn't Glover have a movie with Rihanna on Prime, chat? How have we not watched that yet, to be honest? That might be tonight's watch. I guess maybe because it's on Prime is why we haven't watched it. I'm like, oh, well, now I have to log into Prime as well, too. But I guess, do we have to log into Prime? We'll figure it out, chat. We'll see if there's another way to access this piece of cinema. The Lift Me Up music video, I guess, between that and all the Fenty ads, could probably keep us pretty entertained for Rihanna material. Is it not Rihanna? Is it Zendaya? Who is he in the movie with? I guess we could look up Donald Glover. I guess maybe we'd... Oh! Is it Zoe Kravitz, maybe? We get Zoe Kravitz and Rihanna mixed up? Ayo, chat. I think compliments for both of them, definitely. But let's see here. Because I guess the point being, they're both upright. Yeah, Guava Island, chat. Who is the co-star? Oh, it is Rihanna. Yeah, of course. I mean, how could we mistake anybody for Rihanna? Just 1 minute after we say we mixed up. How could we mistake anybody for Rihanna? I guess maybe we were looking movies there. And I guess, is this a show or a movie? It's 55 minutes. This might be a show as well. Where's the episode list, chat? But we just don't know how to navigate the desktop site. Like we said before, keep scrolling. I don't know. More like this. Atlanta, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Swarm. Bando on the New Stone. So TV and MA, that's definitely a show rating, chat. So this is a TV show. Again, maybe another reason that we haven't watched it as well too. We've been not necessarily watching a ton of the TV shows, but and yo, chat, Loletta Wright, we'll say it right. Dropping bars. Donald Glover will be proud, and Rihanna, I guess too. So Donald Glover, Rihanna, and Loletta Wright, chat. That's just a stutter machine name waiting to happen. But this seems like a fun premise as well too. A young musician seeks to hold a festival to liberate the oppressed people of Guava Island, even if only for a day. Not bad. I love a single day movie, chat. Kind of I don't know if there's vampires in this, but some Sinners DNA. Pause. Hey, whoa, in this movie as well too. But yeah. So do we cast Rihanna in this movie, chat, as the girlfriend? The girlfriend. I guess this is Trey's girlfriend. This is Tatum's girlfriend. So Zendaya as Tatum's girlfriend. We could go with the star in this role. We've got Tatum, Sam, and Marquise Brownlee. So we're gonna need some acting skills to carry the rest of the scenes as well too. And just, outside of Brownlee's YouTube crowd, some diehard Tatum fans, and of course, the REMINGTOM pod fans watching this movie as well too. Like, Zendaya is gonna help maybe get some extra eyeballs into the theaters and onto the, people are gonna click on it. We can put Zendaya on the thumbnail and help people to click. Doug Tuggles, the conspiracy janitor, is a fun part. Jack Black, David Dashel McCall, the Suicide Squad, weird, intense, and hilarious. Let me see, chat. The name is not ringing a bell here. But Paul Walter Hauser as well, too. Richard Jewell. Yeah, chat, now we're casting. We're spending money in the support. It could be fun because we could get them for smaller parts. Like, oh, of course, chat. Of course, this is a real turn for the janitor. I think this feels, again, like a more comedy. So this guy could be like, oh, now he's doing funny movies now. I feel like he could be a little out of place. Like, he could almost be a little too intense as the janitor. So Jack Black is, again, big comedic energy, perfect for Paranoid Physical. Jack Black might be perfect for this, chat. Honestly. Paul Walter Hauser is not bad either, but oddball energy, lovable loser potential. Paul Walter Hauser, better actor than Jack Black? But Jack Black and Zendaya, have Jack Black and Zendaya been in a movie together yet? Maybe Paul Walter Hauser and Zendaya have been in a show or something together. I feel like maybe, let's see what else we get, because that does feel prestigious with Zendaya and Paul Walter Hauser. Now the movie's got a little sway to it. Jack Black's going to definitely drive home the comedic value of the movie. But Coach Wyatt Bulldog Banks, J.K. Simmons, Woody Harrelson, or Terry Crews? Maybe we cast a real coach for this one, chat. Instead of, because I think I do like Brownlee as the sidekick player. So if we want to bring NBA people, Jeff Van Gundy as the old school head coach? Oh, chat. And then now we see what Van Gundy and Tatum are like. It's like, oh, the Olympics with LeBron and Bosh and Wade. All, I guess it wasn't maybe just the Olympics, but it's like, okay, that's where they were like, oh, we played, the playing together is, really fun as well too. Hey, yo, pause. But, yeah, Van Gundy and Tatum, how do they interact on the movie set? How do they interact on the actual basketball court? Maybe the Celtics get some ideas from our Tubi original. But Dr. Doris Vega. So this is Newt's ex-colleague, and I'm guessing not just ex-colleague, maybe ex-something else, science ally? I'm guessing maybe some other parts. So Rosario Dawson, Angela Bassett, or Aubrey Plaza. Rosario Dawson, we've already cast in a movie, so she's probably, not to say that she doesn't want to work with us again, but she might want to branch out work with us. But so do we develop a working relationship with Rosario Dawson like that? She's just the connecting thread in all of our movies. But Sam and Angela Bassett could be nuts, chat. I guess maybe we don't necessarily. I guess would that lock in some of the storylines for Doris Vega? But hey, chat. But Sam's gonna be like, shut down the live stream. But again, we're casting him in a movie here next to Angela Bassett. Adds weight and gravitas. She elevates the film stakes. So we almost have to cast Paul Walter Hauser if we're casting Angela Bassett. Could Jack Black keep up with? I guess Angela Bassett can fit into any type of movie, chat. She's the perfect actor. So there's really no bad move casting her there. Aubrey Plaza is not bad either, chat. Weird enough to vibe with Newt, but grounded enough to contrast him. So Coach Grizzle, we could go Bryan Cranston, Michael Shannon. Another kind of maybe too intense guy for this. For Coach Grizzle, but for the bad guy, that could be fun. Cranston, obviously, would be an amazing get. Christopher Lloyd as well, too. I mean, if he's going to be a major part of the second film, is Cranston too big of a superstar? It's going pretty, of course, as we expect, we're going to have to do our own research, chat, for casting these movies. It might become a little too real at that point. So, this is not bad. Not a bad start. So we've got, I guess... not a bad start. This is what the cast is at this point. But so we've got Sam, Jason Tatum, Marquise Brownlee, Zendaya. Chat, my heart wants to go with Jack Black, but I feel like Paul Walter Hauser is smarter. Let's go with our heart, Jack Black. So we've got Jack Black's gonna. I feel like he's got to tackle Sam at some point in this movie. I don't know if it's still at the ending in the same way, and then Sam has to shout out instructions to Tatum on how to land properly, but he definitely gets suspicious and tackles tackles Sam at some point in the movie. Just Jack Black like flying out of nowhere definitely has to happen at some point. J.K. Simmons. Oh, that's right. We said Jeff Van Gundy. So we've got Marquise Brownlee, Zendaya, Jack Black, Jeff Van Gundy, Angela Bassett. And Bryan Cranston, that's too much, chat. Bryan Cranston and Angela Bassett, we can't have both of them in this movie. That's too much powerhouse acting. And Zendaya, chat, this movie's too high quality at this point. We might have to recast Coach Grizzle as well, too. Honestly, yeah, let's recast Coach Grizzle and Doris Vega. And let's real quick see what else we can get for those. Vega and Grizzle, chat. Some elite names in this movie. Recast Vegas and Grizzle. So, better to match the film's tone. Something quirky? Lupita Nyong'o? Greta Lee? Catherine Keener. Greta Lee, Past Lives. Okay, Catherine Keener, chat. The name. Oh, Jessica Williams as well, too. The Shrinking Fantastic Beasts. It's not giving us any acting credits for Keener, so it's like we should know who this is as a star, chat. Oh, okay. The face definitely recognized. Again, I need some properties, chat. What movies is she in? Still nothing. Nothing that I feel like I've seen recently anyways. But I do feel like I've also have seen her in something. Oh, she's in Get Out. Okay, of course, chat. Of course. Folie à Deux? She's in Folie à Deux? I guess we just don't remember that movie at all. And, we have some voice acting in The Incredibles too. Lego's Incredibles. Oh, second Sicario? Okay, so she's around. She's around. War Story. Can we go back into, like, the 90s? Oh, yeah. I guess we're setting this movie in 97. Or, no, this movie goes back into 1997. So, AI with a 1997 Catherine Keener? Or is it just, again, Keener? Wait, is Keener... So, is she the colleague in modern day, or is she the colleague back? Does he go back? I guess maybe they were colleagues since 97. So he goes back in time, and then does she buy the future thing? So then maybe he has to correct the relationship in the past as well. That's a whole nother storyline. We don't want the movie to become too convoluted. It's only, we're trying to keep this 90 minutes. But while he's also, of course, I mean, in any type of movie, chat, a man's out there. But while he's trying to help Trey recover from his injury, he's also, like, what went wrong, chat? How did we not emotionally connect in the right ways to stay together long term? And he's trying to, like, set the relationship back right with Doris Vega as well, too. So, wait, who did it give us there first? Lupita Nyong'o? Chat, now Sam might really be in trouble. That might be, and again, a great actress as well, too. So, like, maybe a little too much star power for the movie. But wait, what did it say for Coach Grizzle? Giancarlo Esposito, Walton Goggins, John C. McGinley, or Michael Keaton? Esposito, again, is like really stoic for this part. But, I mean, he does have the comedic background, of course, in the past as well, too. And, I mean, Sam would love working with Esposito. It's his favorite actor of all time. Sam as a rival to Coach Esposito, chat, lock it in. I mean, come on. What are we doing? It's not even a question. So, now we have to choose between Angela Bassett and Lupita Nyong'o for Dr. Doris Vega. Oh, Chad, that's going to be a powerhouse audition, a table read, figuring out who's better in this part. Bring sharp intellect, calm authority, and quiet emotional core. We go one more recast for Doris Vega, chat. Maybe we recast Doris Burke as Doris Vega. Does that work? I don't know if we're just recasting the whole ESPN squad as in this movie. Okay, one more Vega recast. Let's see if we get it right this time, chat. Oh wait, one strong recast. Okay, that's not what we asked for. We want one more. Oh, Stephanie Beatrice. Well, now I feel like it's defeats the points to do a fourth search. But okay, wait, we meant one more. So one more recast. I guess now it knows what we're talking. Oh, it's gonna give us one more again. Oh well, chat. It is what it is. We failed. Rhea Seehorn from Better Call Saul. Again, not experienced with the TV, but maybe Sam would know. I feel like we got to go Lupita Nyong'o, chat. I feel like that's the move. Rhea Seehorn? Okay, chat. I guess we're watching Better Call Saul. It is what it is. Next follow on Instagram. Yikes. But, professionally, of course. So we got that, and then Giancarlo Esposito as Coach Grizzle. Okay, chat. So we've got our cast. We got to write it down. Was there anything else we got to figure out from the movie? We've got the cast. We've got... Okay, wait. So we're casting... So let's put the cast into the actual movie because we need the critics. Oh, chat. Yeah. Let's see what we get here. So we're casting. Okay, wait. So we want Tatum. Jason Tatum is... Was it Trey Miles? We already forgot the name of our own star player. Jason, let's go question mark and see what it says. Let's ask it. How about... Because that's what's going to happen. So it's like, okay, does ChatGPT approve, I guess, of our casting of Jason Tatum? How about Jason Tatum as Trey Miles? Let's see what it says. ChatGPT's having to think. Oh, okay. Inspired move, it says. Authenticity on the court, cool but grounded presence, built-in star power, casting to attract both the sports fans and the casual viewers. Easy to sell NBA superstar. Jason Tatum plays a legendary hooper, almost lost everything until time traveler changes his fate. Surprising dramatic potential. Hasn't had a big acting role yet, but with the right script and director, you can build Trey around Tatum's natural charm and intensity, much like LeBron in Trainwreck or MJ in Space Jam. I like that it didn't say LeBron in Space Jam or MJ in Space Jam. LeBron in Trainwreck. So yeah, we mentioned that earlier as well too. How to shape the role around Tatum. Minimalize long monologues so Tatum no speaking parts. Hey, yo, chat. A lot of on-the-court action scenes from Tatum. Let his face, posture, and presence do that. Add a few scenes where he talks about pressure, expectations, and legacy. These can echo his real-world experiences. Have Rico and Newt be more talkative so Trey can react with dry, understated humor. So Sam, Marquise Brownlee, and Giancarlo Esposito are going to be doing the banter, and then Tatum kind of reacts as well, too. And then Zendaya, the girlfriend, steps in a couple of management-like scenes as well. Wait, bonus marketing gold. Taglines. What if your idol's career-ending injury never happened? Tatum rewrites basketball history one buzzer beater at a time. Behind-the-scene footage of Tatum teaching the cast signature moves. Instant viral content. So I guess the viral marketing is good for this as well. Want to help reshape Rico. No. The cast is good the way it is. So, okay. The cast is... we get this right. We've already got... I guess we got... Do we tell it Sam is Dr. Newt? So the cast is Zendaya, Jack Black, Esposito. Chad, how did you spell his name? Despacito? Giancarlo Despacito? Giancarlo Esposito. We'll just go with that. Oh, wait, we didn't even spell Jack Black's name right. So we're definitely not going to get Esposito. Wait, who else do we have? Giancarlo Esposito. Oh, wait, we want Jeff Van Gundy Jeff. Wait. Who was the coach? Who did we say was the coach? I forget, chat. Did we recast that, or was that for somebody else? Oh, chat, we're already getting lost. Oh wait, Giancarlo Esposito is the rival coach. That's right, the rival coach. So Jeff Van Gundy as chat as coach. What was his name? Coach Buck or something like that. Coach Bulldog. Coach Wyatt Bulldog Banks. So Jeff Van Gundy as coach. Bulldog. And then who else do we have? Oh, Lupita Nyong'o as Vega. Okay, Lupita. Was there any other roles we missed? Zendaya, Jack Black, Giancarlo Esposito, just Van Gundy, Lupita Nyong'o. Chat, we can't even keep up with our own movie here. And Brownlee, Marquise Brownlee, as the sidekick. Okay, I think we got everybody here. And then we'll get the critics review. Oh, save our progress, chat. A killer cast. Make sure we get everybody in the starring role. Okay, and then we want, let's see here. Our friend Sam is Dr. Newt. We'll put that in. Our friend, we'll give it, we'll make sure to put Sam's name in here as well, too. Our friend Sam is Dr. Newt. Be like, okay, I'm not sure about the acting ability. It brings fresh personal energy to the role. Okay, chat. Want to craft a signature moment or intro scene? No, we don't need to get too into the weeds. Okay, chat. Well, intro scene might be fun. Intro scene. How is Sam introduced into the world of cinema? In his first role as Dr. Newt in Full Court Flashback. So the makeshift lab night scene, camera glides through chaotic, cluttered basement, crammed with monitors, coils, takeout containers, one flickering lava lamp. Beethoven's 7th Symphony plays in the dusty Bluetooth speaker. Oh, chat. If we unlock the rabbit hole of soundtrack, we're going to be here for another hour. I didn't even think about soundtracking these movies as well, too. Oh, man. Okay, we've got one more step before the critics review, chat. A soundtrack for the movie. But hey, that's the fun of cooking up the Rem and Sam Tubi originals, is I guess we get to add, we get to continue to improve each movie as well, too. We're adding quality to every movie. Now we're customizing the soundtrack. So, yeah, Dr. Newt is in the lab, Space Jam tee, wearing mismatched Crocs, safety goggles. He's typing. We get some dialogue here as well, too. Sam... Can he really light up this scene, chat, with these It doesn't want to give Tatum the monologues, but hey, it didn't say that it doubted Sam's ability, so it knows, chat. It knows what's up. That's for sure. Announcer on the TV. The injury that ended Trey Miles' career, incredible season. Newt freezes, slowly turns. The footage replays. Trey crashed into the floor in slow motion. He walks to the screen, stunned. This is the moment. This is the crack in the timeline. This is why I built the worm coil drive with the karaoke machine and my landlord's old treadmill. He tears off his goggles, eyes gleaming. Chat, we've got a hit. Want me to write a follow-up where he recreates... No, chat, we don't want to follow. We want soundtrack. What is the soundtrack? And we'll see if we get some banger songs. It's got to be set in 97 as well, too. I guess we got to be better with maybe getting the questions right on the first time as well, too. Think Back to the Future meets Spider-Verse. Chat, it knows us. It knows us. This is scary. Time is on My Side, the Rolling Stones, remixed by Kate Renata. Do we need to go through Kate Renata's discography? Is that actually on Spotify? I don't know, chat. DNA by Kendrick Lamar, Trey's highlight montage. Okay, pretty solid. I think Sam's obviously going to campaign for some Drake in here as well, too. We'll see what we end up getting. All the Stars by Kendrick and SZA. So Kendrick is EPing the Full Court Flashback soundtrack, or we're just really paying a lot of money to Top Dog for this Kendrick back catalog. But all the stars as well, too. For Rico's intro, in his element, headphones on. So Rico, Marquise Brownlee listening to All the Stars in his AirPods. First travel time. Midnight City by M83. We might have to fix that, chat. That might be a little too dramatic. But that might be a little too movie cinema. Yeah, that's kind of too much for the first time travel. Isn't that the one that's like that's exactly how it goes, right, chat? Obviously. But that might be a little too dramatic. Trey watches his tape. Doomed by Moses Sumney. Sabotage by the Beastie Boys, sneaking into the game. Sneaking into the game montage. And then tense scene with Grizzly. Mass in Time of War. or custom score. Hindor Guan. This is a scary name, chat. Guan to do. I don't really know. This might be like a soundtrack for another. Oh, Victory Lap by Nipsey Hussle. Hey, yo, Trad. So no Drake at all in the soundtrack. Sam will. Maybe we move this. We replace the Midnight City song with the Drake song for Sam, or a Yeet song. Get some of that Yeet production in the first time travel attempt. Get Yeet the royalties on this movie as well too. Could be nice. End credit scene ain't no mountain high enough. So I mean, if we didn't spend enough money on the cast, we're just gonna the rest of the movie budget is just gonna be spent on this track to the Marvin Gaye estate, trying to get ain't no mountain high enough. Oh, Flip Soul remix. So not only do we have to pay Marvin Gaye's estate to get the rights to this song, we have to pay another producer to flip this into a soul sample as well too. And I mean, the fact that this hasn't been done in a major way, I mean, just shows you it's probably not going to be the cheapest move out there. Bonus track needle drops, Electric Feel by MGMT, Shining Star, Earth, Wind, Fire, Jump, Crisscross, an original score by just an original score. So if we don't want to spend all the money on Marvin Gaye's song, we just pay Ludwig, I guess, to drop the original score for this movie. So yeah, let's change out M83 for a Drake song, and then we'll see if we don't get any other inspiration here that feels great, we'll just get the critic score, I guess, and see what's up after that. And I guess it could really dig into any part of Drake's discography as well too. So is it gonna give us Nokia, like a newer song, or Tuscan Leather as a first song? Okay. Why it works. The beat morphs over time. 3 beat changes, no hooks, so it didn't give us Family Matters for the beat changes. Perfect for a scene where time travel starts to bend as well too. Yeah, chat. And maybe some of the Drake sort of intensity in the delivery on that track maybe works for that scene as well. Time flies. Obvious thematic time in, plus chill synth production. Tone match. If you want Newt's first success to feel cool and unexpected rather than epic, like he stumbled into a cosmic win. Yeah, see, obviously... what was the one we just saw? Tuscan Leather. Well, I don't know if it's a bigger song than Time Flies. It might be maybe ranks a little higher on some of the Drake like lists, maybe just for song rankings. But Time Flies, maybe the production for that might be better. Honestly, we'd have to. I don't know. Do Not Disturb. That might be a little too soulful for this. Reflective, low key genius. Feels like the soundtrack. I don't know if that works in this spot. Nonstop. Yeah, if we're picking again, if this is a spot where if it's Sam in this scene as well too, this is like his intro song. This is the moment he gets to pick the song for the scene. So he might go with something off of Scorpion. I think that might be his #1 Drake album. So maybe it is Nonstop, honestly, in this moment. And again, we're probably gonna go broke paying for that on the rights to get that song. Recommended pick is Tuscan Leather. So. Honestly, Do Not Disturb might be the song that I listen to the most out of these 4, but I don't know if it's the one that fits best here. Great if Newt is alone. Low lit and emotionally driven, where he cracks time. No, it might be Nonstop, honestly. That could be fun. Swagger and Chaos, perfect if you want to make time travel look like a flex. Yeah, chat. This sounds great. Okay, what do the critics say? Let's see. Wait, is there anything else I'm forgetting? We got, we got good summary, good cast, good music, chat. One last thing. Columbo chat. One last thing. We need a director. Like we said, we weren't directing this one. We're executive producing, so we need a director. I don't know if that's the most entertaining part of this movie, but the directors are important, chat. Do the directors drive Hollywood more than the actors? I guess probably hand in hand. Same way players and coaches are important. But top director choices for Skywalker Time to Ball? Wait, did it change the name? I thought we were going with Full Court Flashback. Okay, wait a second. So we'll change that when we go for the critic reviews after this. Oh, okay, chat. So Coogler, his next movie after Sinners is going to be Full Court Flashback. Destin Daniel Creighton. Oh, chat, we've hit the free limit. Okay, this next response apparently not going to be up to par. So we'll have to go back and calculate how many prompts do we get in the free version, I guess. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, Spider-Verse, the Lego Movie, 21 Jump Street. Masters of Fun, genre-bending stories. Those are all movies that I really love, chat. So that might be just an obvious pick. I mean, Coogler as well, Greta Gerwig. Again, maybe a little too prestigious. Destin Daniel Creighton, I feel like, can get there. Shang-Chi is I feel like a Creed. Is that a hot take, chat? A Creed level movie? Ooh, I feel like Creed may be a little more impactful, but maybe beat for beat, Shang-Chi, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Maybe, well, I was gonna say maybe some of the cliches and stuff, but it's not like, Creed's an original story as well. But that could be a fun option as well too. I would just want to work with him in a project. So maybe we just keep in mind for the next to be original, because we've got some more to cook up as well too. Maybe some more starring Sam, chat. Stay tuned. Or Kogo Nada after Yang or Columbus. If you want quiet, meditative, arty twist. Okay, chat. Yeah, so Phil Lord and Chris Miller are the picks for the director. Okay, yeah, we don't need a trailer or anything, unless it can literally generate the trailer for us. But it would take a while. It takes a second for it to generate a poster. So stay tuned, chat. Tomorrow, or I guess next game, we will be looking at the poster for this next movie. No, so we went agree with the Phil Lord, Chris Miller choice as well. So we went agree, and we want the title called Full Court Flashback. We'll just commit to the original title that we got. If that was, let's double check as well too. Where's our scroll option? We've done a lot of work, chat, to cook up this movie. It's really going to be Full Court Flashback. Okay, we're cooking, chat. So this is not really a prompt, but just to make sure we're setting ourselves up for the proper critics score. So I guess tagline ideas: one shot, one chance, one pass to change the game. Future of basketball is in the past. Whoa, that's kind of simple and effective and to the point. Time is ticking. The court is calling. Okay, those are all okay. Maybe not great, but let's say, what do the critics say? And see if we get the Rotten Tomatoes score in the same way as last time. It's got to search the web, chat, for our movie reviews. Okay, there we go. ChatGPT, it's got it now. We want just fake scores, chat. Think of something. How did you do with cooking up your own movie, ChatGPT? Are your fake critics going to review it favorably? It's going to take a second. Hopefully we didn't get stopped in the middle of the prompt, chat. It is. We've broken ChatGPT. Oh, that's right. We're in the non-free response anymore, so it's going to take a second for it to cook up this kind of mid answer, potentially. Do we have to step away? Give it a second. Oh, chat, we broke it. We broke it. ChatGPT is not responding. We'll see. We'll just wait and see. Did we close some of these tabs? Hey, yo, chat. I feel like this is not even like the max amount of tabs to slow down the internet. We have 100 more tab spaces left, potentially. Oh, closed too many, and now we've lost. I guess it saved the progress, so it knows what the name of the movie is here. Let's see. Hey, we get this Rhea Shehorn tab closed out. Maybe ChatGPT will actually load. Okay, chat. Let's see if we get... Oh, Jim, now we've really broken it. Oh, no, here we go. Oh, chat! It's our best movie yet. Certified fresh at 85%. A solid 90% approval amongst the audience. Critics praise the heartfelt performances. Sam's going to win an Oscar. A seamless blend of sci-fi and sports drama. Zendaya's... of course, Zendaya's the best actor in the movie, so it makes sense that it's best performance. But Zendaya's portrayal of Mona Day is lauded for adding depth to the character, while Sam's performance of Dr. Newton is noted for comedic timing and emotional renaissance. There we go. Sam, chat, winning the critics in performance one. He's 1 for 1. Never missed in a movie. 78 on the Metascore. 8.2 on the user chat. General critics review. Delightful blend of science and fiction, like they said. Nostalgic yet fresh. An unexpected gem. Hey, yo, chat. Full Court Flashback is anticipated to be a hit among critics and audiences alike, offering a unique cinematic experience that combines the excitement of basketball with the intrigue of time travel. We did it, chat. We did it. We cooked up another winner on Rem and Sam. The Rem and Sam Tubi original carousel is becoming one of the go-to spots in entertainment history. Overtime Heat followed by Full Court Flashback is 2 for 2, I think, on Tubi, chat. However you want to say it. But let's see. Does Sam win an Oscar, I guess, is the last question. Does he get nominated? I guess we're just going straight for the win. Does Sam win an Oscar? Is really the last question that we have to ask. And is it in his career for this movie? What does it say? Oh, absolutely! With the right direction and script and killer scene we crafted, Sam and Dr. New totally has Oscar potential. Okay. So it says it has Oscar potential. Why Sam could... well, it's just... why? Hey, who knows, chat? So apparently, ChatGPT, can we cook up a fake Hollywood to give Sam an Oscar? It might be a lot of work, chat, but I guess we'll stop at nothing. So there we go. Another Tubi original. I mean, chat, like I said, we got more ideas in the chambers, so we might be cooking up more Tubi originals on the next game. Let's see here. Is it just straight up on Saturday when the next game is? Or do we have a little... do they get a 2-day break? What's the schedule here? Can we go into the full scoreboard and see? Shout out to New York for, again, extending the basketball watching here. Oh, yeah, chat, Saturday. So be back. I guess typically we're live Friday. I guess we won't be live tomorrow, but we'll be back Saturday night watching the Knicks-Pacers game, of course. And then I guess Monday, if they need the Game 7, potentially. We'll see, chat. Knicks on the road against the Pacers. Can they get the series that close? Can they make the Pacers sweat like that? Hey, yo, whoa, pause. A great way to end the pod, chat. Hey, yo. But we'll be back, like I said, Saturday, watching the game live, having a great time, maybe cooking up more Tubi originals. It might just be a staple for the next week, chat, while we're having fun doing that. But, yeah, stay tuned. You can follow us here for the live streams. Follow the podcast feeds because we do post the live streams over there as well, too. Just, got to have that. We like to have that format available as well, too, for you guys to access. And the DMs are open at REMINGTOM on Instagram if you want to message us over there as well, too. We love hearing from you guys, so feel free to send us a little... if you got Tubi originals, chat, you want to see, we'll cook up a little plot next time as well, too. But, yeah, we'll be back. Game 6 of Pacers-Knicks.